Oh man, after a great weekend, it's a pleasure to welcome you on this Monday morning to your feel-good breakfast show. A very good morning. Sanbonani, Dimelang, Goeiemorgen, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new week as we pick up and kick off the week with a bunch of positivity. Now, first up, it's time for a roundup of the latest headlines, of course, with news editor Roy Simpson. He'll have his input on what's been getting the nation talking, and indeed the world at large. Then we also get the chance to connect with one of our favorite parenting advisors, Nikki Bush, as she guides us on varsity blues and the transition from high school to the big world out there. It really is a significant change in any young person's life and deserves that kind of seriousness and focus. And we'll be doing that today. And then finally, we gain travel inspiration from travel lifestyle content creator Zahira Mahdi, who shares her top 5 must-see destinations and also giving us all sorts of FOMO. She's had so many passports stamped and seen the world and gotten the chance to enjoy it. She's here to tell us all about it. But of course, what we're here to tell you all about is the feel-good vibes that we bring your way. Right, team? Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Yes, it is feel good indeed. And that for the soccer?
That was for all of the football, for all of the rugby. We just loved it this weekend. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Zozo. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing very well. I mean, we are talking about daydreaming, and it's very fitting that they put Mr. Strydom.
Our daydream.
Yeah, he puts Mr. Strydom there. But you know what? For this morning, we want to say good morning to you. When you daydream on a Monday, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us do, which destination do you visit in your mind? Share with us a voice note, 063 408 8863. Where do you go?
Oh, take us there. I'm thinking the Maldives for me. I want to go back, man. I just want to see the islands, the sharks. I love it. Let us know. Take us on a trip with the imagination today. You can drop us a voice note, 063 408 8863. In fact, if you want to chat about anything this morning, we've got a lot to get through. In fact, 3 hours of feel-good. So let's kick it off, get those official duties under the way. I've got those sporting headlines in just a moment. And Kat has the latest on the news front.
The time now just about 2 minutes past 6 o'clock on this Monday, the 20th of February. Let's take a look at those news headlines. On the national news front, Eskom and rolling blackouts have been named the 2022 National Press Club Newsmaker of the Year. Now, the annual award recognizes a newsmaker every calendar year. This is based on the amount of media coverage they received as well as its impact. The country's electricity woes deepened in 2022 with the escalation of load shedding, leadership instability at Eskom, reports of sabotage within the power utility, and the escalating costs of maintaining Eskom's energy generation. The National Press says, or the National Press Club rather, says blackouts have affected the livelihoods of South Africans and have forced the closure of many businesses. Meanwhile, 12 cheetahs from South Africa have been flown to India as part of an agreement to introduce dozens of the mammals to there over the next decade, rather. Asiatic cheetahs became extinct in India in the late 1940s because of excessive hunting and loss of habitat. The Indian Air Force has tweeted pictures of the boxed animals arriving after a 10-hour flight from Johannesburg. Now, they were then flown by helicopter to Kuno National Park. It's believed that their reintroduction will build up local economies and help restore ecosystems that support the big cats. On the international news front this morning, the United Nations will spend $250 million from its emergency fund to tackle forgotten crises around the world, including helping communities that are facing the risk of famine in Africa. Its Secretary General has said, I'm announcing, quote, I'm announcing the largest ever allocation from the United Nations Central Emergency Response Fund, Antonio Guterres told a conference on the sidelines of the annual African Union Summit in Ethiopia. Meanwhile, a senior Israeli diplomat was removed from the African Union's annual summit as a dispute over Israel's accreditation to the bloc escalated. In other news, the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, has arrived in Turkey on an official visit. He will hold talks with the Turkish government on ways in which the U.S. can assist Turkey after the devastating earthquake there and in Syria, in which more than 46,000 people have already succumbed. Now, more than 1 million people are homeless. The issue of Sweden and Finland's membership of NATO is also high on the agenda. Turkey has so far refused to ratify the country's membership because it believes Sweden harbors members of terrorist groups. And then finally, World Pangolin Day was on Saturday, a day to raise awareness and fight against global pangolin capture in Africa and Asia. Now, they presently arguably the most trafficked animal in the world. And the work of Joburg Wildlife Veterinary Hospital is doing that it's doing to save this unique mammal is amazing. Of late, they have assisted some 170 pangolin on their journey to recovery and release. Right at the moment, they are high on the news of yet another Temix pangolin pop-up born in the wild. And this time, former patients Callan and Neria are the parents, and both are safely living at the Manyoni Private Game Reserve. Also at Manyoni, it was discovered that pangolin Corrie had given birth to the first pangolin pup on the reserve. The pango pup was discovered while trying to locate Neria, Callan's partner, for a satellite tag change. Now, staff say that they cannot overemphasize the magnificent work done for their former pangolin patients at Manyoni, and to all who have put in an effort for the success of this project, we say a big congratulations. That's it for the news at 6 o'clock. We'll take another look at 7 right now. Here's a first look at the world of sports and its headlines with Graham.
Now, we know he loves his pangolins, but let's find out why Cat is really smiling this morning. Let's start with football. A second-half fight-back, almost an extra-time fight-back from Arsenal at Aston Villa, mixed with Man City being held at Nottingham Forest, put the Gunners back at the top of the table. So Arsenal showed some, I think, stern character to come from behind twice and score 2 stoppage time goals in a thrilling 4-2 victory at Villa Park. Aston Villa also on top form. The Man City, they were unable to convert their dominance into goals as they drew 1-1 at Forest, with Chris Wood rescuing a point for the hosts. Then Liverpool defeated a 10-man Newcastle 2-0. Could have been a lot worse for the Geordies, ending the hosts' 17-match unbeaten run, a record for the club in their entire history, in fact. Then Marcus Rashford, he continued his stellar form after netting a brace as Man United. They beat Leicester 3-0. Then let's bring it back home. Golden Arrows produced another resilient display to beat Kaizer Chiefs 3-2 in a thriller. Chiefs made the perfect start when Sifiso Shanti, he opened the scoring on just 8 minutes, only to be pegged back by Nsako Makobela's equaliser on the stroke of half-time. The Gava boys, they wasted a little time in reforging the lead through Mdududzi Shabalala early in that second half, but a brace from Knox Mutizwa then handed them a 4th defeat in 2023. Then their Soweto rivals, Orlando Pirates, they're up to 3rd on the log now. That was after goals from Manopula, Saleng and Terence. Zuka Manja secured a 2-0 win over Maritzburg United, while Cape Town City, they overcame Swallows by that same scoreline. Then on to cricket. We saw some history being made in terms of brilliant performances from individuals within India, and they beat Australia inside 3 days for the 2nd test in a row to retain the Border Gavaskar Trophy. So resuming on 61 for 1, Australia, they crumbled to 113 all out against India's unbelievable spin attack. Ravindra Jadeja was the man of the moment, claiming a test best 7 for just 42. And Ravi Ashwin also looked amazing, 3 for 59, to leave India needing only 115. And they wrapped up a 6-wicket win before tea as Chiteshwar Pujara, he hit the winning runs in his 100th test as well. Then on to tennis. Former world #1 Daniil Medvedev captured his 16th career title on Sunday with a tough 3-set victory over a very much in-form Yannick Sinner in the Rotterdam ATP final. So Medvedev triumphed 5-7, 6-2 and 6-2 over his Italian opponent, who had won the Montpellier tournament just last weekend. To show his form, the 27-year-old Russian took his career head-to-head record against Sinner now to 6-0, and he'll return to the world top 10 as a result. We will chew a little bit on our United Rugby Championship results a little bit later and probably continue to have a footballing undertone throughout the day, but that's where we leave our sport for now. Let's see what the weather has in store. It sounds a little bit crazy outside. Let's get the latest from Zoe.
Thank you, Graham. Well, there's heavy rains and flooding that's continuing to wreak havoc across the country. Now, the weather has affected the provinces of Mpumalanga, Northwest and KwaZulu-Natal. Northern Cape farmers on the bank of the Vaal River say some of their grazing lands are flooded. This after 12 sluice gates of the Vaal Dam were opened on Saturday. In Mpumalanga, most rivers have burst their banks, dams are overflowing, and some bridges are submerged in Kumazi, where at least 4 people are still missing. Authorities in Northwest say efforts are underway to relocate residents of the flooded Deal Plan village near Mahikeng and in Ladysmith, KwaZulu-Natal. Torrential rain has flooded shops and homes. Search and rescue operations for the 6 people that are reported missing in the King Sabata Delingembo municipality in the Eastern Cape commenced yesterday. This follows heavy rains and subsequent flooding, which swept away 6 people, including a woman and her 2 children at Coffee Bay. We now bring it back home, where we take a first look at those sunrise views that you share with us. Reiki Finch from Northwest captured this violet-filled sky before she got into her car for the day. Verity Barnes showcasing this beautiful sunrise from her garden with pretty purples and blues glimmering up the sky in Rubik West. Seneca snapped a peachy view while out and about enjoying the fresh breeze in Kenville. And last up, we have Louise, who shared this blissful photo of her window. In fact, this is from her window, overlooking a beautiful, look at those skies, the beautiful hues from Alberton. Now let's quickly get into today's temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, your low is 18, your high 27. Thunder showers in Mbombela, 20 with a high of 31. Pretoria, 16.28. Johannesburg, 13.25. Some thunder showers are predicted in Mahikeng, 10 with a high of 28. Klerksdorp, 11.28. If you're in Kimberley, 12's your low, 31 your high. Bloemfontein, 9.28. Richards Bay, 23, reaching a high of 36. It's sunny in Pietermaritzburg, 18's your low, 35 your high. Durban, 20, reaching a high of 36. Mthatha, 14.34. East London, 15.29. It's sunny in Cradock, a low of 10, a high of 31. Gqeberha, your low is 14, your high 26. Rainy conditions in George, 12 with a high of 25. Cape Town, 14, reaching a high of 19 with some rain for today. Rainy conditions in Worcester, 8's your low, 20 your high. Sutherland, 1 with a high of 15. And if you're in Uppington, a sunny day ahead with a low of 13, a high of 28 degrees Celsius. Well, that's the first look at your weather for today. If you have a beautiful sunrise view to share with us, we would love to see it. Please share a WhatsApp on 063 408 8863.
Well, there we are. Let me take you behind the scenes a little bit on our Expresso behind the scenes camera. There's Zoe. She just did the news. You see her. There we go. Hi, Zoe. Jump up and down. Jump, 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 jump. That's crazy. All right, listen, we're going to have a great Monday. Very shortly, we'll be discussing some of the latest news headlines with Roy Simpson, including what's going to be going on with the minister's budget speech. How are we spending the money this year? Have a look also. Summer award-winning guest artist today, Denga. He joins us here. And then, of course, if you find us on social media, you'll find out that we're asking you about your favorite travel destination. We'd love to hear from you. Mine certainly has to be where I've traveled to recently, the French Alps. I'm a snowboard person. Like, come on. I want to just shred all day. So that's it for me. What is it for you? Zoe, have you mentioned yours? Do you know what yours is?
Not yet, but I do know.
Think about it. We'll see you after the break. Take care.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso indeed. And it's time for us to unlock your 100% with today's quote. And this is brought to you by Clover Crush and author and purpose coach, Jay Shetty. Now, this is what Jay had to say. When nobody else celebrates you, learn to celebrate yourself. When nobody else compliments you, then compliment yourself. It's not up to other people to keep you encouraged. It's up to you. Encouragement should come from the inside. What a powerful quote from Jay Shetty, and hopefully you can take that lesson today with yourself. So celebrate yourself daily, and today give yourself a compliment. And speaking of celebrations, Crush is celebrating by bringing you a TV show on SABC2, hosted by our very own Roy Simpson, who will be going on a journey to help you unlock your 100%. Now, make sure you keep an eye out on Crush's social media pages for more information on the Unlock Your 100% with Crush TV show. You can catch it Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. only on SABC2.
It's The Crush. Unlock your 100% TV show. Catch all the excitement as we unlock Crush fans' full potential to live their dreams. Watch the show on SABC2 starting on the 1st of February every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Plus, you stand a chance to win your share of thousands of prizes. Simply buy any Crush and follow the pack for entry details. Crush. 100% goodness.
All right, it is a Monday morning, and you know what it means when we get to this time. We get an opportunity to delve into the news stories trending all around Mzansi. And here to tell us a bit more about his insights, news editor Roy Simpson joins us. And we, of course, do encourage you to also join in on the discussion by sending us your voice notes to 063-408-8863. And there's much to chew on, Roy.
Oh, there always is. We know Budget Week is always a great week, and we wonder if the Minister of Electricity is going to be stepping into that role as well. But before we get there, we love to focus on what's happening on the ground. Not so much when it's affecting children in the way that we're seeing play out in Khayelitsha at the moment. Clearly, there is a grievance amongst taxis. We've seen taxis blockading, preventing kids from getting to school, thousands of learners being affected. What is the grievance? What's been at the heart of the unrest as it stands?
Well, every year the Provincial Education Department allocates transport tenders and money to transport kids to and from school. And I mean, I presume everyone knows that there's also a system where in every metro, different parts of the metro are allocated to different taxi organizations. So down in Cape Town, there is Carter and Codeta, and effectively the city's divided up between them, and Khayelitsha falls under Codeta. And they have now, if the province is to be believed, they have now decided they didn't take part in this tender process to get any of these contracts to transport these school kids, but Khayelitsha belongs to them. They are the transport provider, and therefore they're entitled to these contracts. And what they did was they literally blockaded the schools and prevented scholar transport from dropping kids off. So basically, preventing kids from getting their constitutional right to education, and at the same time, an implied threat.
Well, I was going to say, because a situation like that can escalate very, very quickly, and the implication is that it will. If you do anything in response to this, it's going to get worse.
You're looking at a taxi organization that's been in a literal taxi war where people have been shot and killed before with a rival taxi association. So you're looking at little kids potentially having to see some kind of violence. Your other fear, of course, is that you've got sort of more matric age kids who might then involve themselves in this and get themselves hurt that way. So it's a very messy situation, and the taxi organization not looking good here.
Yeah, have there been any development over the weekend, and is there any end in sight?
Answer to the first one is yes. Late Friday, the MEC for Education managed to get a court interdict, which prevents Codeta, and they've agreed to this. They're not allowed to blockade, and they're also not allowed to threaten the existing operators. But there's a court case that lies ahead. This is sort of in abeyance until that court case gets decided. In terms of a resolution, I'm not so sure. I don't think there's a win-win here. I think Codeta have come across as really arrogant and out of line. And more importantly, while the ANC, which of course in the Western Cape is an opposition party, while they've pulled in behind Codeta and said, look, there needs to be better consultation, I'm afraid that they have really, really angered the parents, so they don't have community support. So I think that they're probably in to lose this one.
Well, I can tell
very,
you who's
very
losing right now are the children who are
Exactly.
Absolutely.
to school.
Most importantly. Of course, we'd love to hear from you as well. Do send us your voice notes on 063 408 8863. We'll be back again with Roy Simpson discussing some of the latest news headlines that have the nation talking.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey, it's a Monday morning. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show as we continue our discussion over the news headlines that have had the nation talking over recent times. Roy Simpson, news editor, joins us this morning as we look forward to what will be a very interesting week in the South African context, especially post-SONA, because the Minister of Finance will be delivering the budget speech this coming Wednesday, laying out all of government's spending plans for the year. Roy, the big question, what can we expect? I mean, we know...
we have?
We already have 2 states of emergency underway, so...
States of disaster.
States of disaster.
Important difference.
Different, yes. So what are we expecting?
What are we expecting? That's different from what we're wanting, of course.
This is true.
What we're expecting to see the budget deficit be a bit smaller. So, look, it's currently running at about 320 billion rand a year, so that'll come down a little bit. Government is still going to spend more money than it makes, though. So there will still be a deficit. Other than that, one of the things, for example, that will drive us still having a deficit is we've got to take on the debt of Eskom. And the last we were discussing, we were talking about sort of half their debt, so somewhere in the 200 billion rand range. That's got to be taken into the fiscus now, and we've got to work out how we're going to pay for that. So that's the other thing. Beyond that, of course, in solar, there was the promise that people with solar panels were going to get some kind of a tax incentive.
Right.
So we need the details of that. We need to know how much that is, how that's going to be allocated, and how that plays against Eskom's desire to charge people with solar, to have that solar. So that's going to be an
Yeah, because
interesting
are
one.
we going to be charged, or are you going to be selling your excess power to the municipalities, so then you're making money? But if it's being subsidized by the government, do you really... What's going on?
And is it possible
hand pay
all
down.
of those might happen at the same time? So,
All of this says to me that there's going to be a considerable shift and everything is being gatewayed through a lot less now. Someone's going to be unhappy. More than one person is going to be unhappy. Who's not going to get what they want? What do you think is going to be the most contentious element come Wednesday?
We have 25 million people dependent on some kind of social grant. And civil society at large is pushing really, really hard for a basic income grant. Not just the 350 Rand a month.
Basic income.
So something much more substantial than that. And that movement has been growing, and it's been around for some time. I don't think they're going to get what they're wanting. I simply don't think that there's going to be, or the government at least is going to say, Godongwana is going to say, there isn't space in the fiscus for that. But at some point, we have to find space in the fiscus. So I don't think that's going to happen, which is going to disappoint people. The other competing demands, well, we must never forget that land is always on the agenda. And we don't really see land coming up in the budget very often, but I think we're headed towards an election year. I think there'll be a lot of pressure for it, but again, like you said, I think they're going to be disappointed with what they get in terms of some kind of a budget allocation to sort out land redistribution. And otherwise, yeah, Eskom.
As you're saying that, and you're talking about half of their debt being taken into the fiscus, obviously that's now on our backs.
Absolutely.
So the question is, where's all that money going to come from? How much more in taxes are we then going to have to pay? And are we going to, as a nation, then find kind of common justification that it makes sense for us? I don't quite know. Perhaps you can let us know what you think. 063-408-8863. Send us your voice notes. We'll be back again with Roy Simpson shortly.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Well, hopefully this doesn't make headlines when it comes to us exercising on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Actually, that would be a good headline, to be honest. And today we are focusing on compound exercises. That is your squat, your curl, and your press. And those targets different muscle groups to build endurance, increase strength, and improve stability. Now, in fact, some research suggests that compound exercises, which involve functional movement patterns, are one of the most effective ways to improve muscular strength and burn fat. Well, here to take us through some of the exercises, we have fitness trainer Lauren Wannenberg, and she has brought Brashad alongside, and we're about to get into a full body workout. Lauren, it's great to have you. You popping with the color.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna focus on a full body workout, try and hit all those muscle groups as much as possible. Okay, so your first exercise we're gonna do is a squat, okay? Again, just for your squat, make sure that your feet are about hip length apart, and you're squatting, don't let your knees go past your toes. We're gonna do about 10.
Okay, easy. 10 squats.
Let's
Here we
go. 1, nice, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 more, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Well done. Your next one we're gonna go into is a reverse lunge. So take that right leg back, and we'll do 5 on each side. Okay, let's
So
go.
alternating.
Yes. 2. Nice. 3. Don't forget to breathe. 4. Nice. 1 more each side. And well done. Nice. We're gonna go into our push-ups now. Target those arms and those triceps, okay?
Okay.
So you have your option for your push-ups, either your regular push-ups, or you can drop down to your knees and do your push-up.
Okay, I'll do the modified version.
Love it, go for it, okay? We'll do 5, okay?
Okay.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more, and 5. Well done. From here, we'll go directly to our rows, renegade rows. So 1, 5 each side. 2, nice. 3, keep going. Nice, 1 more each side. And well done. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, that really gets the heart rate up. And I think for someone that might not be strong enough yet to do the full push-up, I love that all of these movements have modified versions. And if you are a little bit more advanced, you can add weights. I suppose you can add a resistance band just to step it up a little bit.
Definitely. There's always a way to increase the fitness level or to just progress and help you get better.
Oh, fantastic. Can I ask for one more exercise before we, we wrap this up?
Let's make it fun. Let's do a 30-second plank.
Okay. I don't know if I can do that, but let's see.
Let's make it fun. Okay. 30-second plank on your forearms. 3, 2, 1, hold.
There we go.
Nice. Keep that core tight, engaged.
Okay. So, to make the 30 seconds go quickly, Lauren, where can people find you?
So you can find me at Hustle Fitness Studio in Sea Point, and on Instagram, Lauren_lips, ZA.
There we go. Fantastic. How many seconds are we in?
We have 10 seconds left.
10, 9.
Nice. Well done. Keep counting.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well done.
There we go. Oh,
Nice.
that was fantastic. Lauren's not going anywhere. I believe you still have to put Kat through his paces, but thank you for joining us today, showing us a compound workout, really targeting those individual muscles, and hopefully you enjoyed that one too. Well, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. We still have more coming your way.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back to this Monday morning. We're still hanging out with news editor Roy Simpson, and he's giving us his opinion on some of the latest stories that have had all of us talking. Previously, we covered the taxi blockades out in Khayelitsha and the upcoming budget speech as well. Now we move on to international breaking news, and of course we would love you to contribute to the discussion by sending us your voice notes to 063-408-8863. Now, in the latest news, Microsoft has been scrambling to reassure people about its Bing AI chatbot, and among other things, apparently it's insisted that it is still 2022. Not sure how that happened, Bill, but okay.
No,
what's happening? Wait, is it 2022?
Let us move on, please.
Don't go to Bing for the answer. It's the answer. No, yeah, that was a really weird thing. It absolutely insisted that 2023 was a date in the future. And kind of more chillingly than that, it said to the person who was in the argument with it, effectively, no, trust me, I am Bing, I know the answer. Your devices, go check your devices' settings, they might be wrong. So the concept that the AI chatbot is wrong, it just doesn't exist within the chatbot's world.
Wow.
So you have to be wrong by definition, and that's a bit chilling.
Now, is this kind of the start of Y2K, or is this the start of Judgment Day? Like, how should we be viewing this? Is this
Are the horsemen riding?
Yeah, is this a little bit of a technical road bump, or is this something that potentially could lead to a bigger question? Because we do trust these devices, these platforms.
I think I hear the clitter-clatter of hooves somewhere in the background. This is more Armageddon-y. Because these are going to become more and more ubiquitous. We're going to rely on them more and more. So part of the whole idea of these AI chatbots is you can ask them quite complex questions.
Yes.
So you could ask them, for example, to write you an essay on a topic, and it would then glean information from several websites and collate that for you and give you that essay. So that's what we're looking to these things to do, which means we're going to lean on them quite heavily. And when they're wrong, that's a problem. So I think we need to get into one of those, or into that point where Isaac Asimov had the laws of robotics. Those who've watched iRobot and read the series. So I think we need a series of laws of robotics.
I've always assumed that they've just been applying them. Like, I've always in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, just as a good human, we're going to do that. But
No, well, apparently
I forget
not.
that we're dropping nuclear bombs on each other.
Yeah, no, Bing was trying to tell one of the journalists that he didn't love his wife. He loved Bing.
Oh,
So, yeah, that's quite creepy.
Okay, well, sticking to matters of, we're talking Armageddon kind of stuff and matters of biblical proportions, if you will. Apparently there's a Bible out there, an ancient Hebrew Bible, 1,000-year-old one to be exact, that is about to go on auction, and it's expected to fetch somewhere in the region of $50 million. US dollars. Oh, my days. How important is this Bible? Where has it been? Who holds it in possession?
It's been in private collections. In fact, it has an amazing history, and part of what makes this Bible so valuable is that the annotations in the Bible at various times by owners, they've jotted things in the margins. So that history becomes part of it. But the book itself is the earliest known example of a book format Hebrew Bible. Everything before that was scrolls, so like the Dead Sea Scrolls. So this dates back to the 9th or the 10th century, so literally 1,000+ years, which in itself is incredible. It's been in private hands, so it's been incredibly well preserved. It is a thing of beauty. I think what I like about it is that, as you say, could potentially fetch anywhere towards R1 billion. The idea that in this era where you've got all these people spending all this money on arms and on death, the idea that we're going to spend a lot of money on something of beauty, something that has emotional value. I really like that. That's quite heartwarming for me.
A spiritual anchor. I love that.
Wow. Would you cop it for 50 million baht?
50, yeah. Oh, look, I'd start at 40, and then we're just going to work. I don't know, how do you approach that kind of an auction? Let us know. Roy, thank you so much. I always feel lighter. I must say, I was sinking into the chair under the financial weight of our previous discussion, but starting to feel a little bit freer. Thank you so much, my man. What a way to start the week. You can continue to chew on the gristle of the news at the moment, especially as we head towards our budget speech this week. We love to hear from you. 063-408-8863. What are the matters that are affecting you the most? We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Well, Mondays usually call for a reset button and leave us wanting something a little lighter after a decadent weekend. Yep. Well, we have Private Chef Tyron back with us, and he's got a simple orange antipasto salad up his culinary sleeve that is going to be full of vibrant in color and flavor. Chef, it's great to have you here.
Morning, Zoe. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, you know, weekends we tend to overindulge. Mondays are always there. We're like, I'm getting back into a routine. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to get my workouts in. I'm going to drink all the amounts of water I need to. And there's nothing wrong with having a reset. So what recipe are we getting into today?
So today we're doing a very, very simple orange and fennel salad. It's something I really like to serve with charcuterie boards, cheese boards. It's a great pairing for a big, heavy, meaty braai as well. Just something nice and light to freshen it up. If I can ask you slowly to slice those oranges on,
Do you want...
on the cross-section.
Okay, so show me one little... Just little
Just
wheels.
one or two. Yeah, just little wheels. And then you can slowly layer them up on that plate over there for us.
Okay, fantastic.
Cool. And in the pan here, I'm just going to fry off our fennel.
And that's obviously you want to do in a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah. So we are using our beautiful Olive Pride. This is the blend. So this has got a higher smoke point because it's got a blend of different oils. So I generally wouldn't cook with the normal olive oil just because it tends to burn and then you get quite a lot of bitterness out of it. But the normal olive oil is great for our dressings, which is what we're going to use to dress this little salad with to keep it light and fresh.
Fantastic. Well, we are using our Clover Olive Pride blend. It is highly recommended for hot applications such as frying like we're doing now, grilling, stewing and baking. And it has a high smoke point like Chef just mentioned and is therefore very suitable to be used like a recipe we're doing now. And the Olive Pride extra virgin olive oil, it is great to use for drizzling over salads as well as pasta dishes. So it really is an all-round great olive oil. Okay. Am I a bit too slow here,
No,
Chef?
you are working just fast enough.
Cool. So we've got our oranges.
Awesome. So we're just going to layer these up very lightly. And this, you don't have to be too fancy with. Again, it's just something you can throw together while the braai is going on or while everybody's sitting down. Keep it nice and light.
And I love citrus. There's just something about incorporating citrus into a salad that's always a winner.
And this whole salad is about the citrus and the olive oil, of course. Okay. Cool. And then we're going to go on with our fennel, slightly over the top.
So that's the fennel we've just cooked up that we've got ready.
This is, some pre-cooked fennel for us, a little bit of that. And then I'm just going to garnish this, bit of salt, bit of pepper, good glug of olive oil.
And that's just to finish it off.
Just to finish it off, yeah.
There we go. Look
Light
at that.
drizzle of that. And then you can add some basil and some herbs and stuff like that to add a little bit more freshness. But that is all it takes. It's a very simple, delicious, wholesome salad.
Oh, there we go. Well, if you want to get your hands on this delicious salad that Chef Tyron's just showed you how to make, it is on our website. So head on over to expressoshow.com. Make
It's my feel-good
Good morning, you beauties. Good morning, Ewan. Why are you so confused? Because he's dreaming of a place to go. We put it to you guys this morning. If you do your daydreaming on a Monday, where do you go? Where do you want to go and visit? What is that dream destination? Let's hear from Colleen. Where do you want to go, Colleen?
Delft from Delft.
She's the
Good
strong
morning,
silent
Expresso.
type.
It's Colleen of Delft from Delft here. When I daydream,
Oh, no, I'm just imagining.
I
I'm gonna
find
say-
myself in a place like Jamaica.
Ooh.
On a beach or Zanzibar. Oh, lovely.
Oh, lovely. It sounds like you've already been there, Colleen. Like, I'm just picking up a different... I was thinking of Zanzibar for you. I've been there. It is amazing. Let's squeeze in another. Where are we going next?
Hey, very good morning to my Expresso family. I'd like to go to the Caribbean islands. That is my dream destination, really. Thank you, Jocelyn Avocados.
Oh, I love it. Go get your groove back, girl. Well, seeing as we can take a flight of fancy, I wonder where our next very special guest would like to go. I'm glad he's here for now, but I wonder where he'd go.
Well, we'll find out soon enough, and he is a very special guest. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him. He's a SAMA award-winning artist, producer, songwriter, worship leader. Oh, my goodness, all-round incredible gentleman who goes by the name Denga King D Music Takalani. Take a look at some of his work. Oh man, hailing from Benda, the vibrant musician tracked his love for singing to the age of 12 when he was singing at church, and he's since come a long way with more than 10 million streams on Spotify only, and with an appeal to a global audience stretching to a large amount of countries, including France, Ghana, the United States, and other countries as well. It's a privilege to have King D Music in the house. Celebrate! Jubilate! Ah, man, die Matero ne Abo de Praga.
Marvin Fitz.
Yeah, sure. Oh, good. It's so good to see you.
Yeah.
And just to get to know you a little bit, the moment I stepped into the studio this morning, got mic'd up, and then your track dropped.
Yes.
And I was like, this is the kind of Monday that I want to have.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know King D Music, tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about yourself, your music, what it is that you're pursuing with it. How do you define yourself as an artist?
So my real name, Denga Takalani. I grew up in Venda, moved to Gauteng when I was, pursuing, my marketing degree. And yeah, man, I do Christian music and just, positive music. And I can define my sound as, music that anyone can listen to, whether you're a believer or not.
Yeah. A very interesting thing. I saw there was a great hip-hop track, Christian hip-hop track the other day that I was listening to, and then somebody asked, what do you guys think about this genre of Christian music? And there was a lot of kind of debate around it. So how do you see your contribution towards this big market of Christian music and how people follow your music as well? How do you produce it?
Well, man, there's a lot of elements that goes into this, but, I think, the heart, behind everything is just to, bring an option, especially here in SA. Like, there are a lot of, young kids who are looking for, this, kind of like, urban, Christian music and all that stuff. So we really just want to bring an option, into the beautiful, country that we have that has, like, traditional gospel music.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And like you say, if your heart's in the right place, that's what matters.
Yeah.
And you're taking your heart overseas. Do you travel much? Do you have a favorite travel destination?
Well, I think it's America, and funny enough, I'm going there in April, so like I'm really excited about that.
Tell me about that, because obviously your music has reached to, like I said, France, Ghana, the United States. Now you're going on tour to the United States. Which cities are you hitting?
So we're doing New York. And then it's actually going to be like a New York-based, a tour. We've got a lot of places that we're visiting there. And we're also ending in Nashville, so I'm super excited about
Nashville,
that.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Hey, the home of Justin Timberlake. Loving it, man. I'm very excited for everyone at home right now to hear you perform. What's the first track you got in line?
It's Worry About Nothing.
Worry About Nothing, man. Listen, the stage is all yours. Take it away, do your thing. King D Music on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's about to break it down.
I'm gonna worry about nothing, but I'll pray about everything. I'm gonna give all my worries, all my fears to you. No matter how things may be, I know that you always here for me. Gonna worry about nothing, but I'll pray about everything. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not be afraid. Though my pockets are empty trying to make ends meet, I will not be dismayed. When I'm down feeling lost trying to find my way, I will keep my eyes on you. Cause I know that you're with me, and I know that you got me. Hey, I'm gonna worry about nothing, I'll pray about everything. I'm gonna give all my worries, all my fears to you. No matter how things may be, I know that you always here for me. Gonna worry about nothing, I'll pray about everything. If the doctor tells me I have the months to live, I will let myself give in. When I'm going through the most of life's getting real, I will keep on holding. That tomorrow will be better than it is today, and the sun will shine again. Cause I know that you're with me, and I know that you got me. Let's go. I'm gonna worry about nothing, I pray about everything. I'm gonna keep all my worries, all my fears to you. No matter how things may be, I know that you always here for me. I'm gonna worry about nothing, I pray about everything. Hey, let's go. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Yeah. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Oh, everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Yeah. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm gonna worry about nothing, I'll pray about everything. I'm gonna keep all my worries, all my fears to you. No matter how things may be, I know that you always here for me. I'm gonna worry about nothing, I'll pray about everything. I'm gonna worry about nothing, I'll pray about everything. I'm gonna give all my worries, all my fears to you. No matter how things may be, I know that you always here for me. Gonna worry about nothing, I pray about everything.
Let's go. Blessings, man. Blessings, man. Listen, I actually want to get those lyrics in because I want that to be like my motivation for this Mondays.
I'm not gonna worry
about nothing.
I'll pray about everything. I'm not gonna give. I'm gonna give my worries, all my fears to you.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Listen.
No matter how hard things may be. Yeah.
Oh, I know you're always there for me, man. What a beautiful way to start this Monday morning. I really, really hope that has ignited hope. It's ignited inspiration in your the start of your brand new week. And we're looking forward to more performances from you a little bit later on. So super proud of you. Where can people follow you, by the way?
It's at King D Music on all social media platforms.
We've got to add to those 10 million plus streams on Spotify,
Hey,
man.
Yeah,
Let's go.
for
King D
sure.
Music on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We'll see you after the break. A round of applause. Come on now, man. Well done.
Thank you, Kat. It's a few minutes before 7. Let's quickly look at those national headlines. South Africa has been named chairperson of the African Union's Peace and Security Council at the summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. In this capacity, President Cyril Ramaphosa will have to ensure that the council pays attention to all the hotspots in Africa. Ramaphosa said the continent continued to work on projects to silence the guns. The AU is a continental body consisting of the 55 member states that make up the countries on the African continent. It was officially launched in 2002 as a successor to the Organization of African Unity. And staying with our local news, Eskom and rolling blackouts have been named the 2022 National Press Club Newsmaker of the Year. The annual award recognizes a newsmaker every calendar year. This is based on the amount of media coverage they received as well as its impact. The country's electricity woes deepened in 2022 with the escalation of load shedding, leadership instability at Eskom, reports of sabotage within the power utility, and the escalating costs of maintaining Eskom's energy generation. The National Press Club says blackouts have affected the livelihoods of South Africans and have forced the closure of many businesses. Moving to news abroad, North Korea has described the launch of its intercontinental ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan as a military exercise. North Korea says it should also serve as a warning to America and South Korea. The missile fired yesterday fell west of the Japanese islands of Hokkaido. The latest launch shows that America is within North Korea's striking range. North Korea has already warned America to cancel its planned military exercise with South Korea next month. North Korea regards it as a hostile action, while America labels it as merely a military exercise. And the United Nations will spend $250 million from its emergency fund to tackle forgotten crises across the world, including helping communities that are facing the risk of famine in Africa, its Secretary General has said. I'm announcing the largest ever allocation from the United Nations Central Emergency Response Fund, Antonio Guterres told a news conference on the sidelines of the annual African Union Summit in Ethiopia. Meanwhile, a senior Israeli diplomat was removed from the African Union's annual summit as a dispute over Israel accreditation to the bloc escalated. And bringing it back home, members of the Lochval Boat Club in Vanderbijlpark rallied on Saturday to save a donkey that had been swept away in the raging floodwaters of the Vaal River caused by the recent storms. It was rising rapidly when the club members spotted the donkey in distress. Suddenly, the turbulence increased, sweeping the exhausted donkey away from a bridge and into dangerous rapids. The club members immediately leapt into action. They saw the worn-out animal battling to keep its head above water. Club members quickly grabbed ropes and life jackets before jumping into boats and onto jet skis to race to the donkey. Ricky Rozansky, a Lochval club member, said it took a real team effort to save the animal. It was really dangerous, but we just couldn't leave it to perish. The donkey was absolutely exhausted. It hardly moved while we were getting to the bank of the river. And that is a quote. Well, to all of those involved for helping the animal, we certainly salute you. Well, on that note, that's where I leave your morning headlines. Let's take another look at your sport.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Let's start with football this morning and a second half fight back, almost an extra time fight back from Arsenal at Aston Villa, mixed with Manchester City being held at Nottingham Forest, put the Gunners back at the top of the Premiership table. So Arsenal, they showed character to come from behind twice and score 2 stoppage time goals in a thrilling 4-2 victory at Villa Park against a very much informed Villa as well. Then Man City, they were unable to convert their dominance into goals as they drew 1-1 at Forest, with Chris Wood rescuing a point for the hosts. Then Liverpool, they defeated a 10-man Newcastle 2-0, ending the hosts a record-breaking 17-match unbeaten run. And it was Marcus Rashford, who is very much the man of the moment, continuing his great form after netting a brace as Man United beat Leicester 3-0. And bringing it back home, Golden Arrows produced another resilient display to beat Kaizer Chiefs 3-2 in a thriller over the weekend. So Chiefs made the perfect start when Sifiso Klanti opened the scoring on just 8 minutes, only to be pegged back by Nsako Makobela's equaliser on the stroke of half-time. The Glamour Boys wasted little time in reforging the lead through Umduduzi Shabalala. It was early in the second half, but a brace from Knox Mutizwa then handed them a 4th defeat in 2023. Elsewhere, their Soweto rivals, Orlando Pirates, they are now up to 3rd after goals from Manopule Saleng and Terence Dzukamanja. That secured a 2-0 win over Maritzburg United. Well, Cape Town City, they showed some character as well, overcoming Swallows by the same scoreline. Then India were on fire yesterday. They beat Australia inside 3 days for the second test on the trot to retain the Border Gavaskar Trophy. So resuming on 61-1, Australia ultimately crumbled to 113 all out against India's stellar spinning attack. Ravindra Jadeja claiming a test best 7 for just 42, and then Ravi Ashwin 3 for 59 to leave India needing only 115 for the win. And they wrapped up a 6-wicket win before tea, in fact, as Cheteshwar Pujara hit the winning runs in his 100th test as well. What a way to mark the occasion. And we finally turn to tennis. World number 1, Daniil Medvedev, captured his 16th career title yesterday with a tough 3-set victory over a very much in form Yannick Sinner in the Rotterdam ATP final. So Medvedev triumphed 5-7, 6-2 and 6-2 over his Italian opponent, who had won the Montpellier tournament last weekend to show his form. The 27-year-old Russian took his career head-to-head against Sinner to 6-0 dominance, and he'll return to the world top 10. Well, that is where we leave our sport for now. The roads should be waking up. Let's get you to work safely and see where those major areas of concern are lying. Kat's got the details.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richards. A quick traffic update this morning out in Mthatha on the N2 towards Umbu. The road has been closed due to community protest action, so please do avoid and use an alternative route. In Brackenfell in Cape Town, there is congestion on the R300 northbound before the N1, so please approach carefully as there are delays. That's the latest from the traffic. Right now, here's the weather. Now, in the latest update, the death toll from Cyclone Gabrielle in New Zealand climbed to 11 yesterday as thousands of people remained missing a week after it struck the country's North Island. Now, the cyclone hit the island's northernmost region on February 12th and tracked down the east coast, inflicting widespread devastation. Prime Minister Chris Hipkins has called Gabrielle New Zealand's biggest natural disaster this century. Yesterday, police said 2 more people had died in hard-hit Hawke's Bay. Now, more fatalities are possible, Hipkins said, as 6,431 people remained missing. He said some 28,000 homes were still without power. Now, a team from Fiji is heading for New Zealand to assist with recovery, one of 12 offers of international aid received so far, Hipkins announced. Emergency workers from Australia are already assisting with relief efforts. Now, police have sent an extra 100 officers to Hawke's Bay and nearby Tairawiti amid reports of looting. Now, quote, the police are working to maintain law and order. These were the words of the Prime Minister Hipkins. Now, let's take a quick look at the beautiful sunrise images that you have shared with us this morning. Joy, all the way out in Newlands in Durban, captured this lovely shot of the fluffy clouds and the blue skies. Thank you so much for that. Paul Godard in Boksburg snapped a gorgeous, bright and bold shot of the beautiful, colorful hues in the sky. Then Troy Pillay showing off phenomenal views and this picturesque start of the morning, all the way out in Durban. What a beautiful way to start it out. And then last up, we have Ridwan Hassan crossing our borders all the way in Dubai. And he's enjoying a morning walk on the beach, embracing the city lights. How much more perfect could it be? Look at the beautiful colors cascading from the sky all the way down to that beautiful orange. And then the building, city skyline. Wow, wow, wee wah. Thank you very, very much. Send that to us, or whatever you have to share with us. Send it to us on 0634088863. Let's take a look at temperatures all across the country. Polokwane with a 90% chance of rain today. You can expect a low of 18 rising to a high of 27. Mbombela 20 to 31. Pretoria 16 to 28. And Johannesburg 13 to 25. Now, in the Northwest Province in Mahikeng, a low of 10 will rise to a high of 28, and quite similarly in Klerksdorp, 11 to 28. Kimberley, 12 to 31, and Bloemfontein, a low of 9 and a high of 28. In Richards Bay, your temperatures will range between 23 and a very hot 36 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, 18 to an equally warm 35. Durban, 20 to 36, and Mthatha, a low of 14 rising to a high of 34. In East London, a low of 15 will rise to a high of 29 degrees Celsius, while Craddock will see temperatures ranging between 10 and 31. Gqeberha, 14 to 26, and Georgia with a 90% chance of rain Temperatures ranging there between 12 and 25. In Cape Town, already coming down this morning, temperatures will range between 14 and 19. Worcester, 8 to 20. Sutherland, a low of 1 and a high of 15. And Uppington, you can expect a day starting off at about 13 degrees Celsius and rising all the way up to 28. Not something you see too much, where Uppington is not the hottest place in all of the land. But of course, as always, no matter what the weather looks like in your part of the country, here's to hoping it's a feel-good Monday.
I'll tell you why it's not the hottest place, because our little beauty room has suddenly become the hottest place in South Africa right now. Why? Because Nikki Bush looks amazing. We love you, Nikki. So good to have Nikki Bush here. We are going to be talking about that empty nest syndrome. Yes, it's a real thing. So if you're a parent who is longing for the children who have left the nest, don't worry. We got you. We got some practical advice in just a moment.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to talk specifically to parents right now. If you have a child who is going away to university and you are struggling to let go, don't worry, you are in very good company, especially today as parenting expert, speaker and author, and our very good friend Nikki Bush joins us in person to talk about the best way to support both your child and yourself going through this process. Nix, we love you. So good to have you in person. Admittedly, these chats do become very self-indulgent, and I know I've still got a way to go, but I'm just thinking how much of my life, my purpose, my reason for getting up in the morning and pushing through this crazy old life of ours is my kids. What happens when that's taken away? And February is supposed to be the month of love and connection, and now we are letting go to our little ones. Why is this such a hectic gateway to go through?
Gosh, Graham, you know, you're in that phase where school provides this exoskeleton, this framework, and it's going to drive your life for the next 12 to 15 years. And it's a structure. And when your kids are no longer in that structure, as a mum particularly, any kind of parent is going to go like popped elastic band syndrome because that drive to meet those deadlines is not there anymore. And mothers in particular, and you talked about Valentine's week or Valentine's month, we love to be needed. And suddenly you're not needed on a regular basis. And that's what empty nest is actually about. And for all those years when you are, you know, being driven by that school schedule, you want more time for yourself. Then when you get time for yourself, you go, now what am I going to do with it?
I keep asking everyone who's got kids that are slightly older than mine, I'm like, when is that time? When does it happen? When are we free again? When are our evenings our own? But we might not necessarily want that. But I think this is wrapped up into the anxiety of hoping that our kids are ready. Yeah. And in that final phase, often there might be a few indicators that they're not. i.e. their matric finals, the lack of responsibility being an 18, 19-year-old. There are so many things that potentially point in the other direction. How do we ensure that they are supported through that phase? Because we don't want it to become about us and our anxiety and about them letting go and that big shift. There is still a connection.
This is a journey to independence, and it's about lovingly letting your children go. Bit by bit by bit. And right now, anybody who's got kids going away to university, their minds are full of what if? What if their cell phone gets stolen? What if they don't like their roommate? What if they don't manage their budget? And all those things. But the only way for your kids to actually become independent is to let them try it out for themselves. So you do have to let them go, but you do need to give them some guidance. And there's some real basics that I want to pass on this morning. Because you do need to prepare your kids for what-if scenarios. And I've just mentioned a cell phone being stolen. It is a classic in university towns that cell phones get stolen. There are gangs that deal in this.
Take it as a
Do your kids know if there is a car accident or a cell phone theft or a computer theft, what they have to do? Do they know that they have to go and you know, to the police station, get a case number so that you can do the insurance claim? So these kinds of things are important. Do they know how to use the medical aid card should they land up in the emergency room? Do they know the basics if they're having to cook, if they're in digs? Things like, and these are the calls you'll get, Mum, how long do I cook spaghetti for?
I'm turning everything on and nothing's working. Dad, I don't know why nothing's working. Is there load shedding? Yes, okay, no.
Exactly. And then there's the call of, you know that spaghetti bolognese you make? What herbs do you put in? and it's actually quite fun listening to this kind of, you know, grasping for things that you've actually shown them, taught them, and they just want that little bit of reassurance that they're on the right track.
I love that. What are those little anchors? I've used that word today already. What are those anchors that your child is going to cling to as they head out into the tumultuous seas out there? We've got you covered. If you're feeling that emptiness syndrome kicking in right now, stick around. We're going to continue in just a moment.
Some invaluable advice there from Nikki Bush. Looking forward to the next segment. Now, whether you're a seasoned chef like my friend over here, Chef Ty, or you're a casual home cook like myself, or maybe you're a student who's living in digs wanting to cook up a beautiful bolognese, but you want to add a touch of something delicious, fancy on it, then Clover Olive Pride is a pantry essential that can be used for a variety, or in a variety of ways to make your favorite dishes even more delicious. And that's why Chef Ty is here to give us a roundup of some of the essential recipes that you should be able to execute with some ease, relative ease, but it's certainly showing why this product is oil you need. all you need? Okay,
yeah,
somewhere there. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. My basic go-tos for olive oil, the three standouts are always a good pesto, a good aioli, and then a good confit. So for the pesto, it's super simple, guys.
Yeah.
We've got herbs. You can use whatever herbs you like.
You just said herbs. What herbs are these?
I've got some basil, I've got some parsley in there. You can use coriander, you can... there's a whole array of herbs you can use. We've got some parmesan going in. A little bit of cashew nuts. Now, traditionally, pestos are made with pine nuts. let's talk about the price of pine nuts before we use them. So
okay.
We're going to use cashews because they're nice
as an alternative. So as long as you have a nutty flavor to it, then it kind of caters for what that is.
Good pinch of salt. We're going to add in garlic clove.
Garlic clove.
And a good squeeze of lemon. And
you don't do that thing where you cup your hand so that you catch the pips.
We're blending in it, and I took the seeds out earlier.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow, here we go. Lovely stuff. And then
our
key ingredient.
Good Glogger olive oil.
So you just want to make sure that it, because obviously that's going to be, it's going to form part of the.
This is our binder. Yeah, exactly that. And we're using the straight up olive oil for this because we want that beautiful flavor and the richness and the herbaceousness that we get in that normal olive oil.
Excellent stuff. And once you've made, so this is a pesto that
this is a pesto.
Typically you'd use it in?
So we can use this to dress pastas, to dress salads, all sorts of different things.
Okay, so very easy, and you'll see it'll turn that beautiful green color because of the herbs and the spinach. That was spinach that you added?
No, it was basil.
Basil, okay. Do not add spinach to you. Wow. Basil, okay.
Cool. And that's all she wrote. Nice and emulsified.
That's looking great.
Super simple. Cool.
The taste of a good pesto is in the scent for me.
Exactly.
What does it smell like?
It smells delicious. What do you think?
Oh, yes, please. Where my pasta at? Okay. So that's the one thing that you need to learn how to make very easy.
Exactly.
That beautiful
olive oil. Swiftly, we're going to go into aioli. So aioli is just a flavored mayonnaise.
Aioli, okay.
As all mayonnaises start, we got egg, we got mustard, splash of acid. So here we're using lemon juice. Put about 5 mils there. Yeah, it's about 5 mils.
And then
we're doing aioli means garlic, so it's a garlic flavored mayonnaise.
Is that what the French call it?
No.
What's aioli?
It's just the aioli is a garlic flavored mayonnaise.
Okay, but you said aioli means garlic.
Well, it means garlic in my head. Cool.
Okay, so and then lovely lashings of olive oil there.
Good lashing of olive oil.
Okay.
And then
you're going to blitz it up?
Yeah, we're just going to pop the stick blender straight down. It's also something you can do by hand, slowly adding oil, but I find it's just real quick.
Look at that.
Slowly.
And then you have basically a garlic-flavored mayonnaise.
Exactly. So we could probably add a touch more oil to this to get it to slowly.
Let me help you do that. Just a bit more.
Yeah, very slowly just add in the oil.
Slowly, yeah?
Yeah.
Let me know when.
That's good.
And that's about it. I feel like a chef already.
Cool.
And this is so cool because what you're making is so kind of complicated in the way that it's used, you know, in all of these fancy dishes. But it's so easy to make it.
Yeah, and we just keep going until it thickens up.
Okay, so we'll do that in the admin.
Yeah.
But what are you looking for essentially?
For a good thick sort of paste. Yeah,
so it'll thicken up. What are you adding to it to thicken it up even more?
The mustard is our emulsifier in this, so we'll probably add a splash more mustard to that to get it to thicken up. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Then we go over to this station over here. What are we making?
We're going to do confit. So confit is a French word, means cooking in fat, I believe.
Confit.
So you can confit pretty much anything: meat, vegetables, fruit. But a very, very good go-to to have in your pantry is confit garlic. So starting off, very low heat. I've got the olive pride, the blend here, guys. We're using the blend because it's got a higher smoke point and we're actually cooking it. So we don't want to ruin the beautiful fresh flavor of that fresh olive oil.
Okay.
So we're going with the blend here.
And be absolutely sure to tell your friends when they come around that I have confit this.
Makes you sound fancy.
What? What did you do? No, I confit it.
Cool, so olive oil in. Couple of garlic cloves. I mean, I normally do 3, 4, 5 heads of garlic.
You really like garlic flavor?
I bulk this up. Keep it in the fridge at home. It lasts forever. Bit of time for a little bit of flavor. And this, you just simmer on a very low and slow heat as it goes. You'll see as the oil comes up with temperature, we're going to get a little bit of bubbles around the garlic.
Let's show that to the camera. This is, you know, it looks like just the basic. And once you've made your confit garlic, what do you use it for again?
So this you can use in mayonnaises, in aiolis, in pestos, in dressings. I quite like a little piece of garlic on a nice piece of sourdough, spread it across, a bit more olive oil, bit of cheese, bit of rocket. Nothing wrong. Super simple, super basic. Like I said, it lasts forever. And then let's not forget that what we're doing is we're flavoring this oil with these beautiful herbs and garlic.
Wow.
So when you are done using up all your confit, you've got a big jar of beautiful garlic flavored oil.
Lovely stuff. And all with our key ingredient, our clover olive pride olive oil. This is cool. Oh, you can see it.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is probably going to be a very important discussion if you're a parent right now and your little ones aren't so little anymore and they're jumping out of the nest. We've got parenting expert, speaker and author and our good friend Nikki Bush here to chat about the infamous empty nest syndrome, because it really is a real thing, especially for parents whose children have now left for university or moved out of the house after matric. They've gone on their gap year, whatever it is. They're no longer yours to protect and love. There are so many big questions around this time. What are the major things we should be thinking about as parents and not fall victim to worrying about? Because there are a lot of anxieties. So we've had a lot of time to think about and build up. So there's some baggage that we're giving our kids as they leave the house. What should we be focused on?
Graham, I think, letting go to let grow is the mantra.
Oh, I love that.
Very, very important. Your children are now spreading their wings, learning to live without you. You are no longer the center of their world. This is actually very important to understand. However, having said that, The minute the chips are down, they are going to phone
exactly.
you. And that's going to be when they run out of data, they run out of money, they run out of petrol, they land up in hospital.
Run out of excuses.
Okay, they will phone you. But no news is generally good news. And you do need to give them space to test their new reality. And these first sort of 6 weeks of being at varsity, especially in first year, they're going to be testing their alcohol limits. They're going to be testing their sleep deprivation limits. They're going to be meeting new people. It's a whole new world. Of course, there are a couple of conversations that you need to have. They are around personal safety.
Yeah.
So, spiking of drinks, a very important
Massive.
conversation.
Yeah.
Contraception, very important conversation. And you know what? This is just a fact of life.
Yeah.
This is not like, oh, we're going to whisper in your ear. You got to tell it straight.
Yeah, this is one of the 5.
Yeah. If your cell phone gets stolen, if you have a car accident, this is what you've got to do.
Playbook.
Yeah, it's the playbook. It's the what if playbook. And if your kids, if you've done the scenario planning, then you've got to let them go.
Okay.
And you've got to trust that you did enough. And, you know, if the proverbial hits the fan, every parent is going to step in. But do the scenario planning, because it passes on the baton of responsibility to your child, that when you are not with them, they are responsible for themselves, for their mind, for their body, and most importantly, for their reputation.
Yeah, I think it's worth knowing this, because you're going to fit into almost your first professional social set, if that makes sense, when you enter into varsity or that next phase of life. If I think of my social sets now, the guys I'm doing business with, my strategic network, you are entering into that phase of life. All of this says to me that we're too late. If you haven't got it down by now, maybe chances are you're going to be in for a tough lesson or two. How do we foster the right kind of decision-making, the right kind of thought process, the right kind of communication skills? Because I'm also terrified that my kids are going to do something that they feel they can't tell me about. So how do we get that right? How do we bed down that foundation before we send them off? How do we support them in that journey?
I think, you know, as children are growing up, you always tell them that they can come and talk to you about anything. That you will be there whether it's good or bad, and your kids need to know that.
You've got to prove it.
You've got to prove it. You know, and the lead up to letting them go is that they will start partying in the later teenage years. They will start drinking in those years.
Yeah.
But be the parent who's there to pick them up at midnight. Be the parent who gives all the other kids the lifts. Because then you actually get to experience their world, but you're also there for them. And it's amazing how kids who don't have that support structure will actually really, really respect you for being that parent. But now, of course, they're going to university. You will be on the end of a phone. And it might be a midnight call. It might be that you are tracking them, and that phone does not leave a field in Stellenbosch for 24 hours, and you're wondering what the hell happened. Meanwhile, the phone died when they were partying, but they're safely asleep in their bed.
Yeah.
And to teach them about traveling together in groups. So partying together, and that somebody has to be that designated driver. Somebody is the one who's watching the spiking of the drinks scenario, who is... It's having one person protecting the group, and you take turns.
You're like meerkats. You when a meerkat out, there's always someone with their eye on the sky. Someone is always watching.
And it's actually important because there are lots of potential what-ifs. And I listen to some of these groups of varsity friends where they quite literally pick up one person who looks after the crowd for the night. They take turns, and it's a good thing.
And don't forget that your kids do have their tribe around them. They've got their friends. There are support structures. This is terrifying me even saying it out my mouth, but it could also be a beautiful opportunity for you and your partner, or for you to just connect with yourself again. So it's not all bad. But if you need more real-time advice, nikkibush.com is where you can find this absolute gem. Nix, I don't know whether I should thank you or scold you for terrifying me, but if you are going through this, we got you. We're in it together.
Well, spell check, autocorrect, and Google can't save you now. Because it's time for another thrilling round of the super sensitive spelling bee. It's the super sensitive spelling bee game. Guess who's the host? Yes, again. I've managed to evade the competition. All right, 3 rounds, 3 tooth-sensitive trigger foods, and 3 sets of words for each of our contenders, varying in length and difficulty that they will need to spell correctly. And today's theme, all things tech and digital. Please welcome our contenders. On my far right in the blue corner, she's wearing a striped jersey. She is the spelling bee queen of Kingsway High School, Zoe Brown! Where'd you go to school? Greenside. Oh, again in the red corner, slow clapping his way to victory. He's the spelling bee champion of Greenside High. It's Graham Richards. All right. Okay.
And you know, my teachers just went, oh no.
I'm going to start off over there.
If you had to search my Google history, it would be how to spell a lot of words, okay?
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm that person.
Are we going ladies first?
I think we have.
Ladies first. We start off on the far right. Not necessarily 2-minute noodles, but noodles cooked in 2 minutes. You're going to take a...
The hot element.
Yes, that's the hot element. Take a few bites of those, and I'll give you your word to spell. All right, so remember...
Enjoy this a little less.
No, we need a bigger bite than that.
Don't
Okay.
judge me.
Here's your first one. Remember, our theme is tech and digital with a mouthful of delicious noodles. You ready, Zoe? Mm-hmm. Spell fishing.
P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G.
Oh! Let's go! Let's go! All right.
Well done,
man.
sister. Sure.
Take your fill.
All right. Oh, nice.
We want nice and big bites.
Is there a flavour?
Yes. That's yummy.
What does it taste like? Does it taste like victory? Spell algorithm.
A-O-G-Y... No.
Backspace.
A-L-G-E-R-Y-T-H-M.
Wait, one more chance. Go.
Try?
Are you trying to take points away?
You can do it. I'll let you step in.
A-L-G-R... No, wait. A-L-G-O-R...
Y-T-H-M.
No, I think it's the rhythm. Algorithm. It's a different one.
I'll put you out of your misery. A-L-G-O-R-I-T-H-M, algorithm. That is it. Okay, so that round goes to Zoe for sure. Yes. Move on. The second one, our trigger food is frozen coffee. Have you ever had that before? Never in my
I've had
life.
iced coffee, but not frozen coffee.
You're going to take a big bite of that.
You can't. I'm going to break my tooth.
Okay. Okay, then at least you got to keep it
They
in.
didn't put sugar in.
No, you got to keep it in your mouth for 10 seconds before you spell. So put it in your mouth, the whole thing. Hold it in your mouth. Go. Whole thing in your mouth. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get it out. Spell encryption.
E-N-C-R-Y-P-T-I-O-N.
Let's go, Zoe Brown!
Well done.
My days. Okay. Dude, you know what it is? 10 seconds in the mouth.
She's so proud.
The whole thing. 10,
I really thought I
9,
was gonna fail
8,
this.
7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Sorry. Spell vulnerability.
V-U-L-N-E-R-A-B-I-L-I-T-Y.
That was absolutely correct.
That
was absolutely correct. I'm not sure who's pressing the button.
No, it was just testing me. It was just testing my strength of will.
Zoe's still in the lead there with 2-1. We're going to go into the final round. Lemon curd is our last trigger food. You're going to take 2 full teaspoons of that. 2. No, full. That's 1, 2, full. At least give me one.
I'm trying to fit into the skinny jeans.
What is that? A teaspoonful?
I'm on a health plan.
Let me confer with our auditors. What? Yes, she must take 1 teaspoon? Yes.
Okay, we can compromise on 1
I feel like
teaspoon.
she used the skinny jean trump card.
Okay, here we go. And in.
You're going to do it.
How delicious, beautiful. Let it swirl around. Spell homogeneous.
Favorite word again?
Homogeneous. Or otherwise, homogeneous.
H-E-R...
Not hermagenous. No. Homogeneous.
H-O-M-O-G...
Yeah?
You got this, girl.
Yeah?
Is it E-R?
No.
I don't know.
That's like
Sorry.
homogeneous. No. Homogeneous. H-O-M-O-G-E-N-E-O-U-S. N-E-O-U-S. Homogeneous. All right,
It's a tough one. This could be it, eh?
This could be it.
moment.
So 2-1 is the lead. You've got your chance to draw it right now, sir. Big one. Oh, no mercy. Okay, it's in there. Spell surveillance.
S-U-R-V-A-L.
Can I try?
No. Can I try? We got one more chance.
I'm sure it's an O. It's an U. S-U-R, so V-E-I-L-A-N-C-E.
No.
No?
Zoe, you have a chance to win it
close,
now.
though.
Take it home.
I feel like I was close, though.
You were.
S-U-R-V-E-I-L-A-N-C-E.
Nope. You missed a single L. It's a double L in there. All we can say is thank goodness for autocorrect. Now, if you suffer from sensitivity in your teeth, then you can autocorrect that situation by switching to Sensodyne Repair and Protect. It is the #1 dentist recommended brand for sensitive teeth after all. It can't fix your spelling, though. Welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a Monday morning still. Yes, we are in Monday mode. Okay, we're about to get into a stretching exercise session right now because, of course, stretching regularly can have benefits for both your mental and physical health as well. And some of those key benefits include decreased injury risk, improved athletic performance abilities, and improved circulation, as well as increased range of motion. And here to take us through some of those exercises, fitness trainer Lauren Vandenberg. Great to see you. Great to have you with us. My brother, great to see you too. I'm looking forward to this one.
Okay, I see your shoes are off, so you're ready.
I'm notoriously terrible with stretching, and I thought that I need to be grounded for this session just so I could draw strength from here.
I love it.
To there.
I love it.
All right, let's get going.
Okay, let's start with a lower body stretch. Take that right foot forward.
Right foot forward.
And push down into those hips. Nice.
So here we're kind of stretching that, the top part of your quads.
Yes.
You're getting that hamstring stretch.
Opening up the hip flexors.
The glutes getting into it as well there.
Yes.
Gluteus maximus. Yeah.
Hold it there for 3 more seconds.
And I guess if you want, you could also have something just to support your knee a little bit there.
Yes, you can.
There we go.
2, 1, and now we're take it back, stretch out those hamstrings.
Oh. See, now this is where I get found out, right? Because I think this is like the furthest I can go.
That's all good.
Is that all right?
All good.
My brother, how are you doing?
Stretching is all about listening to your body.
Yes.
2 and 1. Let's take it out to the side.
Okay.
And we'll drop
there we
down.
go. Sorry, like, I did my feet. Don't worry, don't worry. There you go. They're looking good, aren't they? You're getting too close. You're getting too close to that small toe. I don't know.
2, 1, and come up. Let's do the other side.
Hey, what you do on the left, you do on the right.
Yes,
I kind of took this as a bit of a yoga session for me this morning.
That's good, though.
Stretching it out, yeah.
Deep breaths as well. That helps.
Feeling good. That stretch is good.
Nice. Hold it there.
Does
3.
stretching form part of your everyday training routine?
Yes, definitely. Dynamic stretching before your workout, and then a good 10 to 15 minute stretch straight after. After you work it. Take it back.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes. Very, very important, especially if you're someone that's sitting at a desk all day. And it helps with maintaining the blood flow. Hold it there.
These muscles, like, where have they been all my life? I feel like I wasn't a sportsman at school. Like, this is crazy.
1, and let's take it to the side.
The side. Oh, my goodness. Woo. I always love that feeling of relief after a stretch like this when you get back into normal position and your body says, yes.
Exactly. Love it. Hold it there. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come up. Let's open the knees as wide as the mat.
Oh, yes.
And child's pose. Stretch it forward.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Deep breath.
Yes, and with every exhale, you can deepen your stretch.
There we go. Thank you so much for this. Of course, we're going to carry on doing this just to kind of get into this Monday. And while we do that, let's get you into the kitchen to stretch out your culinary muscles.
Oh, well, listen, while they enjoy their stretch, we thought we would stretch your bellies by filling it with some delicious foods. And I think couscous is one of those ingredients that could be probably the best of the instant foods. And with just 5 ingredients in this next recipe, dinner will be ready in literally minutes. It's fresh, it's vibrant, and it's oh so delicious. We are talking about our green couscous with veggies featuring pearl couscous with plenty of tender, crisp vegetables. We have private chef Tyron with us in the kitchen to show us how to make this easy weeknight recipe.
Cool, guys. So 5 ingredients, less than 5 minutes, I suppose. So really hot pan. We've got our beautiful olive pride blend. So I've got some broccolini here. Can be any vegetable. You can sub in what you want. On your side, if you wouldn't mind folding together some of the pesto, our beautiful pearl couscous.
And
season it nicely with a pinch of salt and pepper as well.
Kat also made a little bit of pesto earlier.
Yes, yeah.
So
another application of a great way to use pestos.
Oh, I love
And a marmite.
couscous. It's the first time I'm actually seeing pearl couscous.
Yeah, it's just a bigger structure. I mean, couscous is a pasta, sorry. A style of pasta made with durum wheat, just shaped a little differently.
Oh, look at that. I love the smell of pesto. We're getting that everywhere. And this is like normal couscous. You will make it with hot water, equal parts hot water to the couscous, and you just leave it.
Yeah, cover it with cling film or a lappy for 5 minutes, and then, yeah, give it a nice toss through with a fork, and you are done. You can pop that on the plate for us.
So we want to just serve it all beautiful.
Yeah.
This is such a quick weeknight meal.
And great for leftovers for school, for work the next day too.
And just, there's something about a couscous salad the next day.
It soaks in the flavor. It just tastes so much better, yeah. Cool. And then I'm going to follow you here. Hot pan, sorry.
Go.
And literally just your veg on top, nice and light.
So we've got some
edamames, and we've got some broccolini. And then we can finish this with a lick of olive oil if you'd like, if it's a little bit dry.
Oh, let's do that.
Squeeze a lemon juice.
A little bit of our olive pride.
There we go. Perfect.
That looks really good, chef.
Cheers, thank you.
We did say this was a quick and easy recipe. Look at that.
Less than 5 minutes.
Less than, I feel like that was in 2 minutes. It was really quick. Well, if you want to get your hands on this recipe, it is available on our website, expressoshow.com. Chef Tyron, this is obviously the green version. We are going meat-free Monday, but naturally, if you do want to add a different type of protein, you can go for it.
Chicken, fish, cheese tin tuna is a great one as well.
Tuna, yes.
Love it.
Oh, fantastic. And for those, so you would add a little bit of more olive oil, but for someone that maybe wants to add a bit of a sauce that's not too heavy,
yeah, we could dress it lightly with another pesto. You could go in with a thinned out Greek yogurt. Good lick of like a lemon and olive oil vinaigrette would also be nice. But this is just a base for you guys to work up and make it your own. Yeah, I wouldn't do too much else to it.
Well, fantastic. Well, we did promise you quick and easy and absolutely scrumptious and delicious. This recipe is available for you on our website, expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Your timing is perfect because we are back with Sama, multi-award-winning artist Denga, King D Music Takalani. He had to chat about his very clear genetic ties to the beast Ntwararira. Are you related to the beast? No, I'm joking, man. You've got the same...
I get that a lot. I get that a lot. I've been getting that a lot, like, from Twitter, like, hey, your parents have to explain something here.
We won't even go there because I know today and I don't want his pressure on me. Now, there's something that I have to talk about. Obviously, Perfect Love is out, and it feels like the perfect notion of love. But what I love about the path that you've chosen, and I want to know if this is a conscious thing, the worship is there, the R&B skills are obviously on a different level. Was that a choice, or is it a calling? What is it about? Because you become a vehicle for other people's faith, or a way of connecting them. Why is worship still a pillar for you? Because you could have gone a very different commercial route.
Yes, no, for sure. I think, honestly, more than anything, it's a calling. That's what I'm very comfortable with. I mean, the whole album, like, 99% of the album, like, it's actually Christian content. There's only one song that's actually like a full-on love song that I wrote and, dedicated to my wife. It's called It's You. But otherwise, it's just, beautiful album that just, draws people in and, just kind of like encourage them around the love of God and that, the love that He has for us.
I love that. I think your wife had that in a prenup. One album, one song with me.
One
in
song,
it. It's there. You've collaborated with an international set of artists.
Yeah.
What is that collaboration process? Has it changed you getting a taste of this global village?
No, for sure, man, for sure. I mean, I love that, the fact that actually, like, more global artists are always open, for collaborations. So I think, one thing that I really, just took out of, working on Perfect Love is that, there's a power in collaboration because, now there's like a cross, pollination of like, listeners and, fans and all this stuff, from different, worlds. For example, I collaborated with Gabriela Gomes on Child of Heaven, the remake. The song that I'm about to sing, actually, the remake of it, I collaborated with it, which is, part of the, with her, which is part of the album. And I've been seeing a lot of people from Brazil just, giving so much love and all that. So I love that about collaborations.
Keep spreading the love, my friend. I have a feeling that you are going to make your mark now because, as we were saying, the music does really matter now.
Yeah.
Probably more, which is why I'm going to give you the space to sing. Here it is.
Thank you.
Child of God. Enjoy.
Who told you I am lost when heaven finds me here? Who said that I am yours when Jesus took back the key from death? My God calls me His own. I belong to Him. The grave has no hold on me. I belong to Him. I belong to Him. I belong to You, Jesus. I'm a child of heaven. Jesus knows my name. He pulled me from the darkness into His glorious grace. I won't believe what the world is saying. They don't know my name. I'm a child of heaven. I'm a child of heaven. And how can I forget my God, He rescued me. And when my hope was dead, Jesus died for me. And God, You know my name. And I am Yours. I am Yours. I'm a child of heaven. Jesus knows my name. He pulled me from the darkness into His glorious grace. I won't believe what the world is saying. They don't know my name. holy, in love, adopted to your kingdom, your sons and your daughters. I am chosen, forgiven, made holy, in love, adopted to your kingdom, your sons and your daughters. We are chosen, forgiven, made holy, in love, adopted to your kingdom, your sons and your daughters. We are chosen, forgiven, made holy, in love, adopted to your kingdom, your sons, your daughters. Jesus knows my name. He knows my name. From the darkness into His glorious grace. I won't believe what the world is saying. They don't know my name. I'm a child of heaven. I'm a child of heaven. I'm a child of heaven. Jesus knows my name. He pulled me from the darkness into His glorious grace. I won't believe what the world is saying. They don't know my name. I'm a child of heaven. I'm a child of heaven. I'm a child of heaven. Jesus knows my name. He pulled me from the darkness into His glorious grace. I won't believe what the woman say. They don't know my name. I'm a child of heaven. I'm a child of heaven. Thank you, Jesus.
Wow. What a beautiful performance to start off your Monday morning. Thank you very, very much to King D Music. For the time right now, just before 8 o'clock, let's take a final look at the news headlines this morning. On the national news front, farmers on the banks of the Floral and Orange rivers have been requested to move livestock and equipment to higher ground. People living on the river banks are warned to be vigilant and to prepare to evacuate the areas. The river's levels are rising rapidly due to heavy rain and the opening of sluices in the Val Dam. Meanwhile, some rest camps in the Kruger National Park are still closed due to flooding. Talamati, Crocodile Bridge and Lower Sabi cannot be reached. Visitors have been warned to be careful. More news on the prevailing weather, of course, in our weather report a little bit later on. In other news, South Africa has been named chairperson of the African Union's Peace and Security Council at the summit in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. In this capacity, President Cyril Ramaphosa will have to ensure that the council pays attention to all the hotspots in Africa. Ramaphosa said the continent continued to work on projects to silence the guns. The AU is a continental body consisting of the 55 member states that make up the countries on the African continent. It was officially launched in 2002 as a successor to the Organization of African Unity. Reflecting on international headlines this morning, designers and models from across the African continent came together this weekend in Togo's capital of Lomé for the city's international fashion festival known as FIMO. Now, there were also workshops on photography and makeup. FIMO's theme this year is the eco-responsible fashion, as the clothes industry is seen as one of the most damaging to the environment. Some designers have come up with creations with less polluting materials or with abandoned fabrics. Others are giving a second life to old clothes. Meanwhile, North Korea has described the launch of its intercontinental ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan as a military exercise. North Korea says it should also serve as a warning to America and to South Korea. The missile, fired yesterday, fell west of the Japanese island of Hokkaido. Now, the latest launch shows that America is within North Korea's striking range. North Korea has already warned America to cancel its planned military exercise with South Korea next month. North Korea regards it as a hostile action, while America labels it as merely a military exercise. And then finally, on this Monday morning, World Pangolin Day was on Saturday, a day to raise awareness and, of course, to fight against the global pangolin capture in Africa and Asia. They're presently arguably the most trafficked animal in the world. And the work of the Joburg Wildlife Veterinary Hospital is doing to save this unique mammal is amazing. Of late, they have assisted some 170 pangolin on their journey to recovery and release. Right at the moment, they are high on the news of yet another Temix pangolin pup born in the wild. And this time, former patients Callan and Neria are the parents, and both are safely living in the Manyoni Private Game Reserve. Also at Manyoni, it was discovered that pangolin Corrie had given birth to the first pangolin pup on the reserve. The pango pup was discovered while trying to locate Neria, Callan's partner, for a satellite tag change. Now, staff say they cannot overemphasize the magnificent work done for the former pangolin patients at Manyoni. And to everyone who's been involved in this conservation effort, a mighty, mighty congratulations. That's it for the news at 8 o'clock. Right now, let's take a final look at your traffic as we get you ready for work.
Thank you so much, Kat. Before I get into that weather, let's touch on the state of the roads. And we start in the mother city in Cape Town. There has been an accident on the N2 inbound on Hospital Bend. So you can imagine there's going to be delays. The right lane is now obstructed. Please approach with caution or try to use an alternative route. Would certainly be recommended. Moving up north to Centurion, there is a stationary vehicle on the N1 southbound before Olifantsfontein Road. The centre lane currently closed as a result. And this is at the back of the queue at the Brakfontein interchange. Please approach with caution once again. Then moving to Sandton in Johannesburg, there is currently congestion at the R55 southbound. That's between School Road and Arthur Avenue. Average speed currently 5 km an hour, 23-minute delays expected. So factor that in and have some patience this morning if you can and try to find an alternative route. But just stay safe out there in the crazy weather. Speaking of which, let's get into that. Broaching some of the weather news first, and it might be affecting you right now. Heavy rains and flooding continue to wreak havoc across the country. The weather has affected the provinces of Mpumalanga, the Northwest, KwaZulu-Natal and the Northern Cape. And farmers on the banks of the Vaal River say some of their grazing lands are now flooded. And this after 12 sluice gates of the Vaal Dam were opened this last Saturday. In Mpumalanga, most rivers have now burst their banks. Dams are overflowing and some bridges are submerged. In Nkomazi, where at least 4 people are still missing, having been swept away. And authorities in the Northwest say that efforts are underway to relocate residents of the flooded Deelpan village near Mahikeng, and in Ladysmith in KwaZulu-Natal, torrential rain has flooded shops and homes as well. I mean, the visuals speaking volumes. Search and rescue operations now underway for 6 people that were reported missing in the King Sabata Dalindyebo municipality in the Eastern Cape, and that commenced yesterday. This follows very heavy rains and subsequent flooding, which swept away the 6 people, including a woman and her 2 children at Coffee Bay. So we certainly hope that those efforts will reap some rewards at this stage, but that's where we leave the weather news. Let's get into some of your beautiful sunrise views to temper our morning. And May van der Merwe out in KZN, she was on the money. She sent this breathtaking picture filled with soft pinks glowing up the city. Then Tanya Hall in Westville captured a fiery sky. Oh, look at that. Lit sky, absolutely stunning. Then Gail Johnston shared a lovely shot of the blue sky from her home in Pelican Park. That contrast, nice settings there. Last up, we had Anastasia out in Mitchell's Plain. Sent this gorgeous view of the white fluffy clouds in the clear sky. Beautiful way to help us start our day. Thank you so much. As I always say, keep them coming. Share your sunrise views and videos. 063-408-8863 is the WhatsApp line to use. So I was talking about the crazy weather across the country. Let's get into some of those temperatures that you can expect. Polokwane, your low 18 going up to 27 with a very strong chance of thunder showers. In Bombela, slight chance of rain there. 20 is your low going up to 31 degrees. Pretoria ranging between 16 and 28 with a 40% chance of rain. Johannesburg, 13 your low going up to 25. Mahikeng, 10 is your low going up to 28 degrees and a 44% chance of thunder showers to compound the weather there. Klerksdorp, your low 11 going up to 28 degrees. Kimberley, 12 and 31 degrees your range. Bloemfontein, 44% chance of rain with a low of 9 degrees going up to 28. Richards Bay cooking today. 23 is your low going up to 36 degrees. Pietermaritzburg also having a scorcher today. 18 is your low going up to 35. Durbs, it is going to be hot. 20 is your low going up to 36 degrees. Mthatha ranging between 14 and 34 degrees. East London, your low 15 going up to 29. Craddock, your low is 10, going up to 31 degrees. Gqeberha, 14 is your low, going up to 26 degrees. Moving to George, the rain kicks in, 90% chance. In fact, 12 your low, going up to 25 degrees. Cape Town ranging between 14 and 19 today. That because of the inclement weather outside. Worcester ranging between 8 and 20 degrees. The heat tempered by the rain there, 96% chance of rain. Likewise in Sutherland, expect the rain with a low of 1 and 15 is your high. And then Uppington, strangely cold today. Well, I say that by your standards. 13 is your low, going up to just 28 degrees. So normally we say protect yourself from the heat. Today, just stay safe out in the wet and rainy conditions. And if you can, help any of those rescue efforts from your perspective. But that's where we leave the weather regardless of it. Hopefully it's going to be a beautiful day.
The Nedbank and Old Mutual Budget Speech Competition, empowering Africa's future leaders.
Absolutely. Attention all students and all future great minds. The annual Nedbank and Old Mutual Budget Speech Competition is a prestigious competition that challenges undergraduate and postgraduate economics students from tertiary institutions from all across Mzansi to research and explore economic scenarios. Now, the competition is now, can you believe it, in its 51st year and has become a key event on the economic calendar in South Africa.
Oh, wow. Now, the Nedbank and Old Mutual Budget Speech Competition is where some of the nation's greatest and most influential minds have been discovered. And this year's competition focuses on economic growth and prospects and the impact of public infrastructure investment on economic growth. That is no small feat.
Absolutely. Now, the winners and runners-up in each category will be announced by the Minister of Finance at a gala event on the 22nd of February. And a total of 420,000 Rand in prize money is up for grabs. Now, for his or her efforts, the postgraduate winner will receive 150,000 Rand, and the top undergrad entrant will walk off with 60,000 Rand worth of cash prizes being used solely for academic purposes. Now, if you want to stay up to date with the winner announcements and browse all of the inspiring finalists and the impressive judging panel as well, you can visit the official competition website at budgetspeechcompetition.co.za.
Good luck.
The Nedbank and Old Mutual Budget Speech Competition, empowering Africa's future leaders.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. As yes, we finally get to talk a little bit of sport, and we're going to focus on the rugby because I don't want to talk about Arsenal and football at all, ever again. So round 14 of the United Rugby Championship took place this weekend with two South African derbies taking centre stage. The Lions. Shame. The Lions played host to the Sharks with the home side going down 29-7, while the North-South derby between the Bulls and the Stormers was won by the Cape side, 23-19. A bit close there, but a lacquer game to watch. And here to chat about what this means for the South African teams in the context of the championship is our favourite Good Hope FM sports anchor, Lorenzo Taris. Busy time, which is great.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Confused as to what to focus on, but I think it is important to focus on the URC because it's Derby Day,
definitely.
which means a lot for the South African sides and in different contexts in their own individual journeys. So let's focus on a very hard-fought victory for the Stormers up against a side that I think many of us thought the Bulls were going to be impossible to beat on home turf with that many Bulls supporters out there.
Yeah, 41,000.
It felt like it was going to be a tough one. But the Stormers, they did the hard yards. They did what they needed to do.
They needed to. If you look at those first few minutes, though, I started getting scared because then the Bulls were putting points on the table. Yeah, they were putting points on the table. And you know, when you're putting 2 penalties by a team like the champions and you start trying to run away, you
that
can
are all defence.
Then you can take the game away from them. But there's something about John Dobson and Jake White at the moment that intrigues me, if I can put it like that. There's a rivalry growing at the moment. It's bringing back that old North versus South, you know, derby vibes that we had a couple of years back.
Cornerstone of South African rugby.
Cornerstone of rugby.
You need that dynamic tension, which is great. That being said, we're going to see a bit of a tussle at the top of the log. Stormers pretty much the only ones who can battle against the Irish at the moment. Looking what Lens did over the weekend. I mean, there's some tough, still mountains to climb. Are the Stormers going to retain their trophy? How's your head?
So what we need to concentrate on at the moment is securing that second place, right? If we secure that second place, that means that our knockout rounds are secured at home. Semi-final all the way. And then let's hope the Bulls can do something again and we'll have the same final at Newlands. But you never know what could happen in rugby. Depends on which team pitches up on the day as well.
What I'm also enjoying is there's individual narratives into this, and one that has grabbed all the headlines, maybe not necessarily for what was going on the field, now returns to the field. Sabu and Corsi, one of my favourite players. Yes, in a kind of lost cause on the day, but how good to see him back out.
Yeah, no, definitely did. He scored a try as well. And it's so important that we talk about this because it was something that was never spoken about before. Mental health within rugby. So much pressure on these gents to be superheroes and to perform week in and week out.
And they've got such a limited window. Probably one of the shortest windows in professional sports. So we understand that pressure completely. Under a lot of pressure, the Sharks kind of found their it felt like found their flow again, if that's the right way to describe it. Despite missing all of their big guns.
Definitely.
Maybe that helped them in the fact that there were a couple of players that needed to put their hand up, and they did.
No, they have. And I'm so glad that they've done that because we've seen what happened in European rugby. When they played, they were the outstanding team. 4 awards out of there, or 4 nominations out of there for European Player of the Year. So you're like, okay, where's everyone else? That team did absolutely well with the stalwarts in there, with the Springboks in there. Now the young guns are coming in and showing. Yes, they struggled. I think it was 46, was it 46-19 against Stormers? It's begun the correction there. But they struggled with playing against the Stormers, but the Lions, something just not going on there at the moment.
Star quality.
Too many empty red seats as well. When you look at Ellis Park, that's not what you want to see.
And I hate to say it, I'm all for a rebuilding and a development opportunity for younger players coming in, but you need some superstars in a team that's playing international level club rugby. I get that. Just one word is, one answer. Is Kerwin Bosch going to become a Springbok fly half based on these moments that we are seeing from him?
Yeah, not consistent for me though. Not consistent for me. If you want to compare him to anyone else though, we've got Mani Lubok. You know, you've got Andre Pollard. We're not sure what's going to be happening with Alton Yankees at the moment. He's playing 2nd division. And then we've got Mani Lubok.
And Mani is just cooking at the moment.
Kerwin is just, I need him to be a bit more consistent. He needs to be, if he wants to be a general in the Springbok team, he needs to be a general every week.
Everywhere else. Well, he's been given the opportunities in a Sharks side that looked back to their best despite missing all of their big guns. We are absolutely there for United Rugby Championship Derby Day and for you, my friend. Enjoy the Grand Prix. We're going to be chatting a little bit about that on Friday, no doubt. E-Prix is coming to SA.
Oh, we're looking forward to that, G-Man, but there's a name you need to remember. Amber Fillery. She's the current Guinness World Record holder for the longest swim under ice in one breath, doing 90 meters, and she set that record last year, March, in Norway. Now she's heading back to Europe this year to break her own record, and we managed to catch up with her before she leaves.
Swimming underneath the ice feels very special. It's very calm, it's very quiet, and yeah, it's a very peaceful, calm place to be. When I went over to England in my early 20s, and I had a job at an outdoor swimming pool, and the club that I lifeguarded for kept it open all year round. That's when I started cold water swimming. I'm currently training in warm water to improve my breath hold and my technique. I then go over to Germany, where I'm going to be getting in the lakes in Germany to get acclimatized to the cold water. I then head to Norway, where I will be at the lakes and practicing the distance that I can travel underneath the ice at the lake. I currently hold the record for the longest swim underneath the ice in a swimming costume with no diving suit of 90 meters. And the reason that I'm going back is because Guinness are allowing me to use a neck weight this time, which will allow me to go a lot further, really smash my 90 meters. And there was a gentleman who did a record, which isn't a Guinness record, it's a Seamaster record of 105 meters. So I want to swim further than that so that I can be the longest swimmer underneath the ice, both male and female. I've decided to do both the records. The no fins I currently hold at 90 meters, and I will be trying the monofin record for the first time. So it's a new record, and I have an amazing monofin that fits my foot pockets perfectly. The flexibility of it is amazing. Because this is a new record, and there is actually no distance, Guinness have set it at 70 meters. So I'm sure I will do 100 or over. When it comes to the breathing, I have to be so acclimatized that I get in to the cold water and I don't lose my breath. The least I can think about, the further I can go, because the busier your brain is, it just uses oxygen. So I have to be as zen as possible. I think it is slightly more mental than physical, because I have to be so in the zone when I'm diving mentally. So it's a combination, but slightly more mental than physical. My message behind the swims that I'm doing is all for mental health, because I've really suffered from depression and addictions in my life. So my message is, don't let depression and addiction get in the way of your dreams.
She's certainly superhuman. Amber Filler will be backing you all the way. Good luck for setting that brand new record.
Unlock your 100% this Wednesday evening at 7:30. Meet a medical doctor who dreams of expressing his creativity through beautiful floral arrangements.
I'm going to need some help, Rael. I mean, I don't even know the names of all of these flowers.
Oh man, that's exactly why we are here. We're about to unlock your 100%.
Can't wait.
We need to create an event where he can really push his creativity as well as his passion for flowers. Follow Tinus Marais' journey Wednesday the 22nd of February at 7:30 p.m. on SABC2.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now, my next guest is one of my favorite people in the whole world. When she's not spending time with her beautiful family, she's out and about discovering the world. And she's a travel queen who's more than just a familiar face on our screens. She's an award-winning TV presenter, a travel and lifestyle content creator, Zahira Marti. And she is in the house for the first time in a while. And this morning, she'll be taking us on a journey of how she kicked off her career in Dubai, as well as her latest achievement for her travel show, Great Getaways Namibia, Africa, which has won a Taste Award for Best International Show, which will be happening in March in Los Angeles, alongside a little show known as the Oscars. But give it up, come on, she's in the house! It's so good to see you.
It's so good to be back.
I mean, oh my goodness. I still remember the days when we used to refer to you as Zahira Variawa and as Zahira Marti.
Oh, you know,
that was way back in the day.
Yeah.
And so you've come such an incredibly long way from our screens on Top Billing to then going over to Dubai to start your career, and a move that has worked out incredibly well. Looking at your success, it's been absolutely amazing. But I'm sure it must not have been easy to get to where you are, right? Take me through that journey and what it was like.
I think that's always the funny part. People look at your Instagram feed and think that's a reflection of life, and it's probably the furthest thing from it. So I, as you know, left South Africa, and I went with 2 suitcases and 2 weeks of accommodation.
And a lot of faith.
And a lot of faith, crossing fingers and hoping never to get the I told you so from the parents.
Wait. Did you just say 2 weeks of accommodation?
2 weeks of accommodation and 2 suitcases. And the plan was, if it doesn't work out, you can always come home. Home's a great place.
Okay.
So went over, started applying for jobs for my apartment in my hotel overlooking the creek. So still staying on the old side of Dubai.
Yeah.
And within a week, I got a call from a recruitment agent. Within 10 days, I had an interview. And on day 13, I got the offer.
That is incredible. But I mean, you must have some kind of work ethic over and above the faith that you have in yourself, but to apply yourself at such a pressure point to ensure that no matter what happens, you're going to make this succeed. That must have been an immense challenge.
I think that's the challenge of Dubai. I think people think going over, and it could be anywhere, right? It's any expat experience. People think going over is easy, and it's the furthest thing from it. You go over, you struggle, you're alone. I remember the table that I used for the first couple months was the microwave box, turned upside down. Because, of course, you don't want to go over and be like, Mom, Dad, I need money. I spent all my savings getting the little bits of furniture I had in my apartment, which was a mattress, a fridge, a microwave, and a 2-plate stove. And I ate a lot of 2-minute noodles for the first few months.
The sacrifices.
Yeah.
And then you get to this place and, you know, we've got this ideal picture of Dubai, the fast-paced life, the beautiful cars, the high-rises and the fashion that we see there. But I'm sure it must have been challenging on other levels as well. Never mind the climate, the fact that it's humid half the day and you're getting hot, and there's a culture that you've got to get used to as well. How did you adjust yourself to that, especially being somebody who loves South Africa and who's South African at the core?
I think that's exactly it. You know, leaving South Africa, I always say this to people, when you're outside and you look in, you get perspective. And what people forget here is that our lifestyle and our community is amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
You don't get it anywhere else in the
And you
world.
don't get it anywhere else in the world. And I miss that. I miss being able to call my friends and hang out and have jokes about similar things in similar languages. And that was the biggest adjustment for me. You know, you go out to a desert, there's a lot of different nationalities, which is wonderful in itself. The culture is very welcoming, it's very warm, it's a very hospitable area, but it's different.
Absolutely.
And it's not home.
Yeah.
So you do have to open yourselves up to different things. You do have to find new ways to connect with people on different levels. You're not going to be able to sit around and laugh about the same sports teams and the same Afrikaans jokes or whatever. But, you know, you learn to adapt, and it's a decision. It's a decision that I'm here, I want to make it work, I'm going to make it work, and that's essentially what you do. Every day is a wake up, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get through this day, and I'm going to make it work, because that's why I'm here.
Yeah, and you speak about decisions, and then you get to a point where you've reached, I think, a certain level of success that would have made a lot of people sit back on their laurels and go, this is pretty good. I'm living in Dubai, I'm able to, you know, live the lifestyle, and I'm good. But then you go, no, I want more. So you went off and started your own PR and marketing company, right? What inspired you to pivot into that direction?
So I always stayed cognizant of the fact that the reason I left was because I wanted more. And what more was, doesn't necessarily mean, I always say the grass isn't greener on the other side, it's just different grass. So I just wanted to keep changing my grass. And I just wanted to keep updating the type of grass that I was walking on. Or, just keeping
What are we on now?
things interesting.
Synthetic? Evergreen?
No. We're back to the original. Like, we like the fresh soil vibes. But, that's exactly it. So I worked in corporate for a while. I don't think I'm built for it. I wanted to be doing my own thing. I was working 18 hours in a corporate environment, hospitality, nightlife. It's amazing. You meet incredible people, but it's challenging. So I thought, well, great. I've done this. I've achieved this. I've hit the roof on this. Now what next? Well, let's do it on my own. I built a wonderful network, and network is key outside the country. And through that, decided, well, I can do PR on my own. And I did it, and I loved it. And then I thought, well, why not have a little play with television again? And went back into that and went back into PR. And just kind of built my environment around what I love and what I'm passionate about. Because I think when that's at the core, no day is a working day. It's just an interesting day.
Absolutely. And you talk about then building that environment around you. And, you found love and you now have a beautiful family. And following your story on the social media spaces, of course, it's beautiful. But what I'm most impressed with and what I'm inspired by is how you've been able to be this incredibly successful person in your business life. But from a family perspective, you're doing equally well. How do you balance it out like that?
I think balance, again, is a decision. It's waking up and going, I'm choosing this for me, I'm choosing this for my family, and I'm choosing this for my work environment. And these put together makes me happy and makes them happy. Working out, lots of yoga, lots of bar, lots of different activities through the day keep me grounded. I work on and off with TV now, so I'm away and then I'm home, and that's all been part of it. And I think motherhood for me is really what helped define who I am. I absolutely love that journey that I'm on. And it's really helped me find that self-confidence as to define who I am. I know what I want in my life. I know what's important. And working out those priorities helps you organize.
That's amazing. And then let's quickly just kind of round it all up. On the 13th of March, you'll be in Los Angeles because all of this hard work that you've put in over the years is paying off handsomely. The show that you've been presenting to an international audience, showcasing Africa, has won a Best International Show Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel? And how did that gig come about for you?
Yeah, it's actually so funny. So I got a call from a South African team that I worked with, and he's like, hey, Zao, do you want to take up a travel show? And I kind of laughed. I was like, what? I'm too old. Surely not.
Really?
Surely there's
Never that.
younger, fresher, more interesting people. But no, he's like, no, they want to pick up the travel content again, and they're looking for a travel show presenter, and we think you'd be great. So I was like, well, I'll never turn down travel. It's what I live for. And yeah, the rest is history. We started up only about Feb last year. We shot a lot through Africa, which I'm super excited about. And yeah, Namibian episode won Best International Travel. And I'm so excited because it's a South African family. We have a wonderful American director, Lisa Renee Ramirez, who sort of guides the team from America. But we're on the road and we do our thing, and it feels like home, and the jokes are the same, and the content's incredible. And I absolutely love it.
And at the end of the day, you are not just showcasing South Africa in your wonderful talents, but showcasing the African continent in an absolutely beautiful way. And we are continually proud of you. Long may you reign. Keep inspiring us. And of course, you at home, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show, because a little bit later on, Zahira will also be sharing her top 5 destinations to visit in just a bit.
Wow, powerhouse. Absolutely love that. And of course, we are wanting you in that same vein to inspire us with your travel destinations.
Oh, and we are asking you in our Good Morning post, when you daydream on a Monday, which destination do you visit in your mind? Let me know. You can share a voice note 063 408 8863. For you, G?
I'm thinking where I've been dying to go, Tsitsikamma, to Storm's River mouth. Oh, it is so beautiful and wild and elemental. That's on my bucket list next, guaranteed.
Mine's pretty simple. Anywhere where there's warm water, a lounger, an umbrella, a nice cocktail with an umbrella in my hand, that is where I want to be on a Monday.
Maybe a yacht in Croatia, perhaps. We could do that again. We love it. Let us know on our socials, on our WhatsApp line, 063 408 8863. Where are you going to take us? Anywhere in the world. Carte blanche, take us there.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So now that we've managed to catch up with award-winning TV presenter and travel and lifestyle content queen Zahira Mahdi, it's time for her to share some of her favorite travel destinations and memories. And I think if there's anybody who should be your go-to when it comes to travel, it's Zahira. I mean, you've practically seen the world. How many passports have you gone through?
A few. I've got the big guy now. I've got the, yeah.
How many pages
I've got the big
is it?
guy.
Like 56 or something?
He's the mega, I think. You can't get bigger than him.
My
but yeah.
days. You should have like diplomatic status everywhere in the world.
I wish.
All right, so you've got a top 5 of sorts, right, of travel destinations that you've been to that have given you some of the best memories, that have given you the best fashion, maybe souvenirs that you have collected along the way. I don't even know if you've arranged them in any kind of top 5 order, but I'll let you take the reins on this one. So what's one of them that you're...
So nothing arranged, and I'm excluding home because home's always the top of the list.
Come on
right?
now.
So we're going to take home out of it.
You heard that, South African tourism? Heard that? Yes. Home is...
You're welcome. So we're going to take home out of it for a minute, just because, you know, as you know, I've been here a lot, and I love promoting our country and travel to it. But let's not be biased, because that's not fair. I would say Rwanda has been one of my, and it's in no sort of preferential order, but Rwanda surprised me.
What was it about it?
Beautifully clean, incredible operation to how the country runs. 6th safest country in the world, which blew my mind. And when you go there, you feel it, and that's the big difference. Really incredible, so much diversity in the country, from the city of Kigali, where you've got like coffee shops and really vibrant sort of city cosmopolitan vibes, and then you go up and you see the gorillas, which are amazing. Once in a lifetime experience, everyone should do it. They're like me to you distance apart, and you see them interacting, and they're just incredible. The big silverbacks and the little babies, and unbelievable. And they've got a bit of everything. So they've got safari, and they've got that, and then they've got the chimps up in the Nyungwe forest. Incredible destination.
And the people?
Unbelievably friendly.
Stunning.
Absolutely.
I've always heard good things about
beautiful,
people from Rwanda.
wonderfully friendly people.
Yeah.
So Rwanda's definitely in there.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Japan. I could eat my way around the world. That's something I need to put out there. Like, I'm a massive foodie.
Oh, yes?
So sushi's high up on my favorites list. Japan is an incredible country. The diversity. You know, the one thing I always say to people is when I look up at a train station in Japan, the queue of people is so straight. You could draw a line, I kid you not, down the escalator, and you'd cut everyone in half perfectly. The precision is impressive. So Japan, definitely. Brazil, unbelievable vibrancy, unbelievable energy. I did Rio Carnival.
Okay,
just
that, I mean...
before COVID, a swear word we don't like talking about. Did Carnival, loved it. I have never been...
Were you dressed in costume as well?
No.
Oh, come on.
You're going to get the boobs and the bumps out. No, I was happy to just look at everybody else doing it. I did get bejeweled, but I was fairly clothed.
Close enough. We're close enough, though. So we've got Rwanda, we've got Japan, we've got Brazil.
Bora Bora, French Polynesia. Up there with, like, the biggest tick box ever. Loved it. Did it for our honeymoon. I have asked to go back, and he says I'll probably have to work for the next 25 years to go back to that one. So not a cheapie, but a goodie.
All
so
right.
maybe save it for a honeymoon or a big anniversary. But it's just a beautiful island. You know, we've got loads of islands. You know, Maldives is beautiful, Seychelles is incredible.
Yes.
But there's something really special about Bora Bora, and the people and the energy and the culture, which is so different to a lot of your other island destinations.
So would you say more for your luxury traveler, if you will?
Definitely more for a luxury experience. I do think you can do it cost effectively, but it's also the time you need to allocate to doing that trip. Because it literally is on the opposite side of the globe to where we are.
So travel-wise, you're going to take some time and
it's the time.
flights
So
and
we did Dubai, Melbourne, Auckland, Tahiti, Bora Bora. So that's a commitment.
A day and a half of traveling.
You need a bit of time to do that one.
But worthwhile.
Definitely worthwhile. United States, for me, being a fashion girl, New York's one of my favorites. I love East Coast, Boston, Washington, that kind of vibe. Just sort of cafe hopping. Melbourne's also great. Just one for the husband, tick the box. Score some points. Melbourne's a great destination. The food in Melbourne is incredible.
Really?
Incredible.
Is it cooked by South Africans?
I would say it's second best to Cape Town as a favorite foodie destination.
Wow.
But very similar in vibe to Cape Town. The food's incredible, the cafes, the coffee, best coffee in the world. I'll hand it to them.
Wow.
Best coffee in the world. I'm sure a lot of the baristas must be South African. So those would be up there with my
love
favorite.
it.
And then if I have one more, I'll stick in any African destination.
Yeah.
Whether it's Kenya, whether it's Zambia. I went to Zambia for the first time last year, and that was incredible.
Great people there. I've
Victoria
had the fortune of
Falls. I was on the edge of the falls. And
Did you do that
I
death-defying picture where somebody
I
holds
did
your
it.
foot and you hang on?
I did it.
Thank goodness.
And my cameraman was like, see, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? They first said to us, you couldn't do it because
Yeah.
the water levels are too high. They said this time of year it's not safe to do it. And then we got there and he's like, you can do it if you want to. And I was like, of course I want to. In I went, 2 men holding my feet, reaching over the falls. I was like, it's probably not the most responsible decision, but we're here and we're going to enjoy it. And we loved it. I mean, that was absolutely incredible. Zambia really surprised me.
Ticked it off.
Really, really loved it.
I'm wondering now, before we wrap things up, I mean, it sounds like you've pretty much been everywhere. Is there a destination that you're still pining for and thinking, oh, I'd love to be there?
There's always destinations that I want to do and then redo. And Japan would be one of the ones I'd want to redo. I've
But
done
somewhere you haven't been yet.
a lot of Greenland, Iceland. I really want to do Antarctica.
Yeah.
That's high on the list, the Antarctic cruise, and go down there and sort of just, you know, have a dive in the little icy waters and see the polar bears. And
I'm pretty sure that is in your stars somewhere there. But
I
thank you
hope
so much for joining us. And once again, congratulations on the massive
Thank
award.
you.
Make sure to wave at everyone on the red carpet of the Oscars
Of
when you're on your
course,
way.
of course. And we're going to be wearing South African, of course. So,
Yes.
yeah, always representing.
Absolutely love it. Make sure that you do keep up with everywhere that Zahira is by following her on social media at Mrs. Zamadi, an inspiration not just for South Africans, but I think for all of Africa.
Certainly for us in this kitchen. And on the topic of travel, why don't we let this next recipe take us to Italy?
Made with love by Clover.
And with love by you. Spaghetti aglio e olio is a traditional Italian pasta dish originating from Naples. Now, it might sound a little complicated, but Chef Ty is going to show us how with just a few staple ingredients and the goodness of Clover, olive pride, extra virgin olive oil. It's an easy-to-make dish that the whole family is going to love. I'm kind of thinking this is great for like a student vibe because you don't need a huge amount. It's not going to be so expensive. And it's delicious. So, Ty, I've got to ask you, okay, because chefs, you know, you've got to be coloured by a lot of experiences and places you've been to. Any place you could go to right now, where are you daydreaming of going next?
It's a bit of a weird one. Cape Infanta, down about 80 k's from from Swellendam, on the Breda River.
Which is beautiful.
Beautiful. It's a tiny little village. I love to fish. I love to forage for my own ingredients. So there's beautiful opportunity there to grab mussels, oysters off the rocks, go deep sea river fishing, that sort of thing.
Oh,
so
can I change my answer? I want to go there. I want to go to that place. I love it, man. And there is something special about cooking with those ingredients when you take the mussels straight out of the water. I get that. Quality of ingredients is vital. And when we talk about olive oil, I'm so glad that olive oil is being heroed, championed in the way that it is now, because it is such a versatile ingredient, but the quality does matter.
Exactly. So with olive oil, you know, it's very similar to wine and coffee. It's got terroir. So different regions produce different flavors. Sorry, Graham, if I can get you to slice some of that garlic up.
I'm with you.
Super finely sliced for us. Watch your fingers. And then we're going to get that into the pan. But yeah, good olive oil, like wine, I said, has terroir. So, you know, depending on the regions you go to, depending on the places you go to, everybody makes their own olive oils. I found our local olive oils stand up to really good Italian, good Spanish and Portuguese olive oils. So I think, you know, the local South African stuff that we do have is really on par with those imported ingredients.
It kind of feels like our artisanal kind of vibe in general here is just blown up. And I wanted to kind of put it out there. I wonder like where the best pasta in the world is right now. Is it still in Italy? Probably in like Australia or something, you know?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, the world has changed, but I love the fact that here in South Africa we are blessed to be able to get really good ingredients. Okay, so I've tried to chop that as finely as possible.
That's perfect, that's perfect. Cool, so for the aglio olio, it's very, very simple. We're gonna go into a medium heated pan with our garlic. This is a very low and slow toast on your garlic. You wanna caramelize it rather than burn it. And if you don't cook it enough, you're not going to get the full flavor out of the oil. And if you overcook it, it's going to get quite bitter.
It's going to be burnt because garlic has quite a high sugar content, which I think we often forget. And you want to put it in first to get the flavor, but just gently, because you want to treat these ingredients with care, especially when it comes to the oil. And Clover Olive Pride, it is a brilliant base to work from, enriched with vitamins E, A, D, and K, no preservatives, cholesterol-free, and certified by the Heart and Stroke Foundation of South Africa. But of course, it's also delicious, and it releases a delicate olive flavor, so it's not too herbaceous or kind of overpowering.
Exactly.
They've got the balance perfectly right there. I probably could have gone a bit finer with my garlic, but we're getting there, you know? I understand what you mean about the oil needing to be the vehicle for the flavor.
Exactly, exactly. So we're drawing out the flavor of the chili flakes and the garlic into this beautiful oil. It looks like a lot of oil, but the recipe is uglier, oilier.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Cool.
No, I get that, and it's not an unhealthy oil, and you're not breaking it down as well. You're keeping the, the quality of that ingredient. Yeah. What's the vibe with cooking pasta, especially spaghetti, because I often push it too far?
So spaghetti, you always want it al dente. It's about 6 to 8 minutes on that. Heavily salted water, you want to taste the ocean in your pot. Heavily salted water, because the next step, we're going to bring our pasta water into our sauce base, so it helps season all the way through.
Oh, wow. Okay, and that's not, because people think it's like a scientific thing to put the salt in there to stop it overboiling. It's flavor, right?
It's flavor.
It's
You're flavoring the pasta itself. Cool, so we're getting a nice slow toast on this here. You can see I'm starting to brown up on a couple of the edges. That's a good key sign to know that we're ready to go in with our...
chop these.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just roughly chopping that parsley. Does not have to be too fancy. Cool, we're gonna go in with, I've got some pre-cooked spaghetti here. So in with our spaghetti, we're gonna give this a lovely toss. And then...
So you actually kind of cook it in that oil to really seal the deal.
To seal it up. And that's also why you don't want to overcook your pasta on this side, because it is still going to get a little bit of heat through it on this side.
There's going to be a bit of a
splash of pasta water to help bring that, that sauce together.
I feel like we've gone really fancy with like the simplest student meal that you can actually make.
Exactly.
It's all how you sell it, okay? It's all how you sell it. And again, honor the ingredients. And yeah, you've almost got a lesson in Italian cuisine. Simple flavors done really well.
Exactly. So I've just added some parmesan, a little splash of lemon juice or some acid. I'm gonna bring it down. And then if you can pass us that parsley there.
There it is, a bit of the fresh element.
Lovely, and we're just going to toss that right through. Just a little bit of spaciousness. And this you can add anything. You can put a piece of fried chicken on. This goes lovely. I love a simple sirloin on top of this.
Yes.
Marries everything together. And that is all she wrote.
Absolutely beautiful. You could add some fresh fish straight out the Breda. You just don't know. I absolutely love that. This is a really simple way to honor the ingredients. And with Olive Pride, you really want to make sure you let it sing. And if you missed any of the steps, don't worry. We've got you covered. Yeah, it's a little blow by blow. That looks beautiful.
Made with love by Clover.
Sensodyne, repair, and protect with deep repair. The science is pretty amazing. It really goes deep and repairs tooth sensitivity. The science is there. It's going to improve their quality of life in a big way. This is the first thing I recommend.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to you Monday morning. We're about to round things up in keeping with the spirit of inspiration. We are so blessed to have Sama winner Denga King D Music Takalani with us this morning. And he's about to drop one last beautiful song for us called Protect Me. Take it away, sir.
Thank you. Hey. Let's go. Hey.
This life no balance, but I know you to hold me down. Always by my side, I'm safe in your arms, closer than a brother. I know you to hold me down, love me like no other. I'm safe in your arms. I found my hiding place. Yeah. Even when I'm in pain, I know I'm safe. You got the warm embrace, so I will stay. You got the warm embrace, so hey, oh God, you didn't protect me. I know you love me. Oh God, you didn't protect me. I know you love me. Hey, show me a better somebody who can love me like my God. Show me a better somebody who can protect me like he does. Show me a better somebody who can love me like my God. Show me a better somebody. Let's go. Yeah. Oh God, you didn't protect me. I know you love me. Oh God, you didn't protect me. I know you love me. Oh God, you didn't protect me. I know you love me. Oh God, you didn't protect me. I know you love me. Come on, let's sing one more time. Hey. Oh God, you didn't protect me. I know you love me. Umuzimu warufuna uhlala nami. I know you love me, Jesus.
King D Music on your feel-good breakfast show. Man, check out this dude. He's such an inspiration. Take a bow, sir.
Please,
brilliant
sir,
performance, man on the keys as well. What a way to start the Monday, hey?
What a great way to start the week.
I'm sorry, he is definitely related to the beast. There is just no way, man. Now, we absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much. And of course, we've been asking you all day to inspire us about where you'd like to go. Buddy, where do you want to go?
Where do I want to go? I want to go to Japan.
Japan?
I want to go to Japan. Tokyo.
You'll fit in with your selfie stick.
Nah! Zoe Brown. There we go. Where would you like to go? Did you say already?
Yeah, it's Tsutikama. Storm through the mouth.
Okay.
Little cabin on the beach.
Oh, with that kind of beautiful music in the background.
Come on, my little man. Oh.
Anywhere where there's a recliner, warm water, the sun, a cocktail in hand. I just want to be by the beach. The warm beach.
We've got plenty of that here.
We can do that.
It's too cold.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you so much to
We
King
love
D
ya.
Music. Have a wonderful Monday. We love you. Bye-bye.
To get to the heart of how you feel, all you need is love and a dish that no one cooks better than you. Made with love by Clover.
Never.